You just can't stop Kansas City from getting the touchdown, man. When the game is going down the wire, and the seconds are ticking off the clock, if Kansas City has the ball, there's no way to stop them from getting the field goal. It's impossible. You may stop them from getting the touchdown. It's impossible to stop them from getting the field goal. What's your face should have scored. Cincinnati should have scored. That's the only thing you can say. It ain't nobody's fault. Cincinnati should have scored. Cincinnati should have scored. Cincinnati should have scored. If they didn't want to, if they can't score, you can't win, man. Yeah, Niners. That was tough for the Niners, man. They lost their quarterback in the first quarter. That was tough, man. They lost their quarterback in the first quarter. They had to play their fourth string quarterback. They had the running back run the quarterback. They brought the quarterback in. And, man, that was just a tough. That was a tough. That was tough for the Niners, man. Because the Niners had a really, really good team, man. They had a Super Bowl defense. The Niners had a Super Bowl defense, and they had a quarterback. Quarterback got hurt. That's the only problem, man. That's how this shit works out, man. This should be like legacies. Legacies come down to fucking field goals and shit and penalties. Your whole legacy can swing from one way to the other. If a couple of them penalties don't get called in the Kansas City game, oh man, it's been 3 years since Patrick Mahomes won a Super Bowl. Oh, they had all these teams all this year, 5 straight championship games at home, and they've only won one Super Bowl. Now they get to play for a second Super Bowl. Same with the Niners, man. The Niners done had these great defense for going on 5, 6 years. The Niners been had this defense. Oh, they probably had this defense about 4 or 5 years, maybe 4 or 5 years. They had this great defense and no Super Bowls because a fluke play where the quarterback get hit on his arm in the first quarter happens every game. Happens all the time. That play where that quarterback in the Niners game got hit on his arm, that happens all the time. Legacy swing, man. A lot of people don't know. Even the guys from my era, Joe Montana, John Elway, man, a lot of them games was this close, man. Could have went any way, man. Oh shit, they said he need Tommy John surgery. That's so fucked up, man. I feel sorry for that kid, man. He came up from the bottom and now he got a fucking. That sucks, man. That sucks for that kid, man. I feel bad for that kid, man. Um, Sorry for him, man. But Purdy, man, that's fucked up for Purdy, man. Purdy's a good kid, man. He can't he 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 kept at it, man. He worked hard to get it to where he's at, man. He wasn't a top draft pick. He wasn't the top prospect, man. Yeah. That's fucked up, man. That kid worked all hard to get to where he's at. And then, I mean, that happens every game. Quarterback gets hit on his arm every game. That happens every game. And now he's gonna be out for. He might be out for another year. That shit is crazy. Life, man. One thing about life, man, is that the older I get, the older I get. When I was in my 30s, I didn't really understand this, but now being in my 40s, we're all lucky, man. It's all luck, man. You're here by luck and grace. We're all here by luck, chance. All that shit about this, this code, these tenants, these rules I live by, all this advice motherfuckers be giving. We're all here by luck, man, and grace, man. We're all here by luck and grace, man. Chance, luck, grace, and chance. You know, we're all lucky. We're all lucky, man. It could have easily been 49ers versus Bengals. Could have easily been. Somebody could have fell on Jalen Hurts and hurt his shoulder again, and he could have been out. Because Jalen Hurts got a bad shoulder. All it would have took is for Bosa to come in and sack him and fall on his shoulder. He's out. And then the 49ers win. Life is luck, man. I don't think the NFL is rigged at all. I think people are saying that because are very emotional, man. And some of them are stupid. There's no way those games are rigged. You know how many people got to be involved? You know how many reporters are snooping around these fucking teams? Independent reporters, bloggers. You got so many sports channels. You got food. You got Tubi. You got Roku. You got Hulu. You got Fubo. You got a gazillion Al Jazeera Sports, Deportes. You got a gazillion reporters sniffing around all these damn teams, man. If there was some shit like that going on, it's so many people involved would have to be involved for the game to be rigged. We said rig that green screen. Let me go get my water, man. Let me drop the link, man. I'm gonna drop the link, man. I gotta go get my water, man. I left my water upstairs, man. Let me drop the link, man. Let me drop my link, man. I tell you, man. It's all luck, chance. It's all luck, chance, and grace. Grace, the grace of God. Luck, chance, grace. That's all it is, man. And then you can throw in your little rules to life and, making good decisions and, having a father in the home, all that other shit. But at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day, it's luck, grace, and chance. All right? Luck, grace, and chance. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get my water. All right. Salute to everybody, man. Link in the description box. Salute to everybody watching on Rumble. Um, Rumble in this bitch. Mayo,
Hey man, what's up?
what's happening?
Man, this Tyree stuff is blowing up with the
Mayo
conspiracy
talking? I
theories.
can't hear Mayo.
Can you hear me? Anybody?
Uh-oh. Mayo?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, he's talking. I can't hear him. Let me see something. Mayo?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, I hear you now. I have my volume down,
Okay.
man. Man. What's happening, man?
Man, this conspiracy stuff is blowing up with Tyree.
Oh, really? What?
Oh yeah. Let's see. So far, I've heard that the police officers, 3 of them are former Vice Lords members.
Oh, God.
Yeah, one of them was Tyree was maybe sleeping with one of them's wife.
Joey, do you ever talk about how Tyrese from Sacramento? He's a skater and a rock music fan.
Oh, I
And
know, I know.
the girl from Memphis wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, he's like the whitest black dude to ever be killed by police.
Yeah. Like, he makes what a Memphis chick's pussy dried in the Sahara.
Oh, I'm sure there's a couple little white skater chicks and former juggalos that like him, but
Memphis is about to be lit, though.
Oh, are they protesting right now?
No, I'm just talking about they've canceled the Scorpio Squad.
Yeah, we getting into that, man. We're gonna get into that.
They're done. They did the same thing in New York.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that was
anti-crime. Anti-crime used to come rolling up on people in the middle of doing their thing, man.
The gun unit.
Oh yeah, they were tough guys.
600-man unit. Well, let me just show y'all something right quick. Before we get into this bullshit. So since yesterday, there was a mass shooting in Greensboro, North Carolina last night. 6 were injured and 1 is dead. Okay? Greensboro, North Carolina, last night. 6 injured, 1 dead. It's a lot going on, man. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the PayPal, Cash App, support the channel.
Free Tax USA. Free.
Hold on, you know what? I'm gonna go on YouTube. I'm gonna do this on YouTube, man. Let me see something, man. It was so many mass shootings last night in Blackistan. It's kind of like it would have been good if they protested, because they would have had something to do other than kill each other. It's crazy how Blackistan is. I mean, they were literally last night. You had 4 mass shootings in Blackistan. It's insane, man. It's really, really, really sad, man.
at Memphis they were busy standing on a bridge taking out GameStops and pawn shops.
Oh, they did loot last night?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know they looted. Okay.
Yep. Video games and guns mostly.
Okay.
Let's break that down. Free federal return for everyone.
All right, thanks, Lenny. Happening now, police in Winston-Salem and Greensboro are investigating several shootings this weekend. This early morning in Greensboro, a shooting left several people injured and killed 1 person. It happened on West Market Street at Southside Johnny's. Excuse me. Police say that several are in stable and critical conditions. Police say that Cedric Monroe died from his injuries. He was
Cedric Monroe died. 6 others were shot in Greensboro, North Carolina, man, last night. And it was 4 other mass shootings. It was one in Philly, one in somewhere else, and da 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 da. All right, man. Let me get to the fucking bullshit, man. Let's get to the real shit. I tell you, man. Oh shit! I got the wrong channel. I just don't know what I don't know if anything can be done about any of this, man. It's there's nothing that you can do about any of this stuff, man. There's nothing you can
There
do.
were 6 shot in Wichita last night. Where I'm at.
If you got to put it in the back chat. I mean, like, I was going to get into the mass shootings, but people got to go to work.
A guy was burnt to death in a car in New York last night.
Yeah, I mean,
The Scorpion unit has been deactivated permanently.
Protesters in Memphis, Tennessee.
for your life, you might look here, you stupid whore. That was the worst thing that happened to you. You basically, if you read your horoscope today, if any black woman reads their horoscope, it's gonna say it don't matter what sign you is, bitch. If you in Memphis, your life is hell. Fuck. These black women are fucking retarded. You really, they're celebrating this Scorpion unit being off the streets. Let me tell you who never fucking tussled and resisted with those fucking Scorpion unit guys. Real street guys. Real street guys from Memphis knew. Put your fucking hands behind your back or get taken in the fucking alley and get the shit kicked out of you.
Demanding an end to police violence against Black people, hailed what they saw as a small victory on Saturday. News had just emerged that authorities were disbanding the specialized police unit linked to at least some of the officers involved in the fatal beating of Black motorist Tyree Nichols.
Black women.
In a statement, the Memphis police said it had permanently deactivated the Scorpion unit after the police chief spoke with members of Nichols' family, community leaders, and other officers. Video recordings released on Friday showed the January 7 attack. The 29-year-old could be heard repeatedly calling for his mum as the officers, who are also Black, are seen repeatedly assaulting him in his mother's neighborhood after a traffic stop. Nichols died of his injuries 3 days later. The 5 officers were charged on Thursday with murder and assault, among other crimes. They've all been dismissed from the department. The disbanding of the Scorpion unit, which focuses on street crime, came as protests continued across U.S. cities on Saturday, sparked by the harrowing video of the attack.
As a mother with a 29-year-old, that hits hard for me, and I'm.
Is she about to cry about one murder? Like one fluky murder? Because the guy could have survived. He, like most people survive that type of ass whooping. Is she about to cry about this?
That could have been her kid. She was putting her kid in his shoes.
Yeah, like your kid will get pulled over and not put his hands behind his back and just fucking get it. A lot of I'm telling you what would have happened right there. They would have put their hands behind it. They would have cuffed that kid, picked him up, put him in the back seat of a cruiser. If he hadn't been really reckless driving and it was another car that looked like his, they would have ran his tags, They said, all right, man, my bad, you can go. If he had been really reckless driving, he'd have gone to jail and bonded out within like an hour. Or at the very least, the next morning. He wouldn't have been in jail long enough to fucking brag about it. He couldn't even tell his kids he wouldn't even be able to tell his kids he'd been to jail. That's how short of a time he'd been in jail. If he would have fucking just got arrested. And then he would have fucking been able to fucking file a complaint and maybe get a lawsuit. Just for getting snatched out of the car.
And get a check.
Instead, he turned it into all of this.
Year-old. That hits hard for me, and I'm trying so hard not to cry, but it hits hard.
Yeah, but you understand how stupid that makes you? That fucking like 12 fucking little kids got hit with stray bullets last year while they were in a house in your city. Another fucking like 50 got murdered outside of the home. And then that don't count the other 250 adults that got murdered in the street. And
How many murders in Memphis?
I think it was 360 last year, something like that.
So her kid has a 360% more chance of dying by random than by police violence in that city.
Wasn't that where that kidnapping and murder took place last year? That made the news.
You talking about that white girl?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
With the recidivist guy who had just done the same thing, gotten out of jail, and
Yep.
29-year-old, and to hear a 29-year-old call for his mama.
It's not right. It's supposed to be a system that protects us, that provides safety for us, but instead it's killing us, murdering us, innocent lives who just began their adulthood.
On Friday, U.S. President Joe Biden, who has lived through 2 of his children's deaths, made an effort to console Nichols' parents over the phone.
If I give you a piece of advice,
yes, sir.
it get really rough. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Okay.
Tyree Nichols, the father of a 4-year-old, has become the latest face of a U.S. racial justice movement, galvanized by the 2020 killing of George Floyd at the hands of Minneapolis officers.
Galvanized by the 2012 killing of Trayvon Martin by fucking George Zimmerman. This shit been going on for a long fucking time.
Attorney Benjamin Crump, who was with Nichols' parents during the call, urged Biden to get a police reform bill named for Floyd passed through the next Congress.
Excessive and unnecessary. Some strong words used by Memphis Police Internal Affairs after 2 officers beat a man with their batons. And now we've uncovered the never-before-seen body camera footage of the incident. That video is through our partnership with the Daily Memphian and the Institute of Public Service Reporting.
Oh, shit.
Now, we want to warn you, some of the video you're about to watch is hard to watch. WREG investigator Jessica Gertler finds out one of the officers involved has received repeated complaints.
Give me my keys, please.
October 2016. The night started with a woman in Nutbush flagging down Memphis police to help her get her car keys back from her boyfriend, Jeremiah Hall, the man in the yellow.
Look, if you could just get her keys so we can go, we'll stop bothering you. She just want to go home. All we need you to do is just get her the keys.
At this point,
now, like, that should be the end of it, right? When that lady cop was very reasonable with this fucking guy, right?
Repeated complaints.
Give me my keys, please.
October 2016. The night started with a woman in Nutbush flagging down Memphis police to help her get her car keys back from her boyfriend, Jeremiah Hall, the man in the yellow.
Look, if you could just get her keys so we can go, we'll stop bothering you. She just want to go home. All we need you to do is just get her the keys.
At this point, body camera video shows officers have been trying to get Hall to hand over the keys for several minutes, but he refuses.
Once you get her...
Okay, so, like, I mean, like, come on, man. Like, she called them down there to get her keys. It's a property dispute. They're trying to adjudicate a minor property dispute. Give her her keys so she can go, and then we can go.
The keys, we go, she go.
I appreciate you start staying behind me, sir.
Hall is talking to Officer Richard Granderson, who you see walk away and call for backup.
I'm on the DV and it's going to get a little rowdy.
So the cop walks away. The cop walks away.
And called for backup. So he wasn't there alone doing the stuff so that there would be witnesses.
You don't need witnesses. You got body cams.
Well, I'm just saying that that's why one of the reasons why you call for backup is to have like a supervisor and have other guys there.
Away and call for backup.
I'm on the DV and it's going to get a little rowdy in a couple of minutes.
The video is clear. Hall does not comply with Granderson's directions to hand over the keys, but he does not threaten officers either. However, Granderson told MPD,
but by not, it doesn't matter if he threatened him. That's the best they can give this guy, because you know he's a black criminal, so they got to fucking find something good he did. Well, he didn't threaten him. Okay, but he's fucking not listening and not complying. And he has that woman's keys. That's stealing. He stole her fucking keys.
These internal affairs, he felt Hall was belligerent and threatened to inflict bodily harm against him and his partner. When backup arrived, he advised Hall that he was under arrest. You don't hear Granderson announce the arrest. Instead, he suddenly grabs Hall from behind. His partner's body camera also captured what happened. Backup then gets out of the car to see the struggle that ensued.
Why is there a struggle? You know you're under arrest. If the cop grabs you, then you're under arrest.
Was then used. Officers say it had no effect.
Now, listen, man. Who in the chat, salute the Miramasa, man. He said, all these shootings in some communities every day, yet no protests or outrage. Where's Crump and Al Sharpton? Why don't somebody ask Crump about this? This is fucking maddening. This is enough to make you pull your fucking hair out. What's wrong with these Sun words, man? Why they gotta make everything so fucking difficult? Jesus Christ.
Put your hands up, man. Put your hands up.
You see Granderson also use his baton. They hit Hall over and over again, all while internal peace. Granderson says the witness refused to leave.
Oh God, now another guy. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. So this is supposed to be one of the cops that was also involved in, I think, the thing.
Adding to Granderson's lengthy file. Since 2001, he's been questioned for using excessive or unnecessary force 6 times. He's also received 8 other complaints for personal conduct.
Yo, if he's on the beat every day for the last 22 years, let's just say he works fucking, let's just say he works, what, 220 days a year for the last 22 years. He's only got 6 complaints in that city with these Sun words. He's a fucking saint.
Five were sustained, including an incident from 2015 when he gave his cousin a ride in the squad car to his ex-girlfriend's place. He used the lights to illuminate the house and the loudspeaker to get her to come to the door. He was in full-duty uniform and took no action when his cousin and his cousin's ex got into a verbal exchange.
We're still in the early stages of evaluating MPD's policies.
Last fall, Police Chief C.J. Davis told us that includes the handling of excessive force complaints.
If someone complains on an officer 4 times that they were discourteous, and it's that officer's word against mine, there should be some type of corrective measure put in place for training or whatever the case might be, because chances are that officer is probably discourteous.
Davis vowed to put new measures in place.
There will be measures put in place for early warning, for corrective actions. And I also plan to really look at what a disciplinary matrix looks like so that we can have consistency in our disciplinary processes.
Taking another look at the policy is something the Mayor's Reimagining Policing Advisory Council also asked Davis to do.
And I feel confident that she's going to implement most of what we recommended to her.
After the 2016 incident, Internal Affairs noted Granderson's disciplinary record to be quite lengthy. One lieutenant asked, "At this point, we have to consider if it's in the best interest of the city of Memphis to continue his employment." But ultimately, they decided there's a chance to rehabilitate him. Since then, Granderson was investigated again for personal conduct. Jessica Gertler, WRAG.
So that's not one of the guys in the case. That's another Memphis guy.
Course and help find solutions.
CNN's Shimon Prokupecz joins us now from Memphis. I know, Shimon, you had been asking for days questions about the Scorpion unit. You had been told by sources that perhaps these officers were in the unit. They were. Short time ago, we learned that unit that these officers belong to, it has been deactivated. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, and certainly this is a significant move here by the police chief in Memphis to do this. And this was something that community members wanted. And of course, Ben Crump and the family of Tyre Nichols wanted. And today, the police chief granting them their requests, their wishes. Let me read to you what the police chief said in her decision to do this. She says that in the process of listening intently to the family of Tyre Nichols, community leaders, and the uninvolved officers who have done quality work in their assignments, it is in the best interest of all to permanently deactivate the Scorpion unit. The officers currently assigned to the unit agree unreservedly with the next step. Now, some people in this community will probably take issue with her saying that some there are doing quality work or that the unit as a whole has been doing quality work. People here in the community have been complaining about the work that this unit has been doing. You know, you heard Ben Crump in your interview with him tell you that they have heard from people in this community who have raised issues. So look, at least for now, the police chief granting the wishes of the community, of these family members in disbanding this unit. Now, the Scorpion unit was created to basically target violent areas of Memphis. And what it stands for is the Street Crimes Operation to Restore Peace in our neighborhood. And the mayor and the police chief here are launching it in November of 2021, and mostly intended to focus on homicides and robberies. They drive around in unmarked cars. And as we saw in the video, very aggressively, what they did to Tyre Nichols, pulling him out of the car, throwing him to the ground. And Ben Crump, of course, talking about the culture of this unit. And that very much is in focus now as all of these investigations continue, Pam.
Shimon Prokupecz, thank you so much. Well, mostly peaceful protest marches are playing out across the country for a second day. I want to check in with Polo Sandoval in New York.
Mostly peaceful. So they've moved the bar. And before 2020, it was either peaceful or it wasn't. If somebody fucking threw a rock up through a window, it wasn't peaceful no more. Now, if only like 10 stores get looted, it's mostly peaceful. This shit is insane, man. So they're getting rid of that unit. All right, let's see. Let's see what the fuck is going on.
You know what the complaint was about anti-crime in New York?
What's that?
Was that they were rolling up on people in unmarked cars. They basically looked like people from the neighborhood. So it wasn't fair to the criminals. In other words, criminals, they had no clue that these guys could roll up on them at any moment.
Yeah.
You know, and that's who complains about these units.
Well, also it's in the black community, it's not just criminals that complain about this shit.
Well, yeah, but it's not like that other video that you showed. It's like he was trying to help a Sun woman get her car back.
Yeah. And that guy filed a complaint. One of the complaints on that officer is that fucking guy.
That's typical. If you have an active officer, you're gonna have a lot of complaints like that. Yeah, for sure.
If you would have just told that bitch, man, look, man, he ain't giving you the fucking keys back. We out. that's what he should have said.
Yeah, but then he would have gotten a complaint from her. That's a no-win situation. She would have complained about it. Yeah.
It's crazy, man. I would have just been like, look, sister, he said he not giving you the keys back, man. Maybe you can go to your dealer and get them to make you a new key or change the lock or something. I don't know. But if you need a ride somewhere, we can take you to where you got to go. You can call the tow truck to come move your car. Oh yeah, that's right. You ain't got the keys. So,
if that guy's doing that, that's like his girlfriend, right? His girlfriend boyfriend thing or something like that. Yeah. So I bet you that guy also beats her. I mean, that's, yeah. So it's like, who's gonna come to the house to deal with that?
Salute to Muramasa, man, coming through big today, man. Some of y'all join in, man. Join the Muramasa party, man. Let's get it started, man. Muramasa says, in the coming months to years in Memphis, you'll see more robberies, shootings, carjackings, and little son kids died every other day. Well, I'm about to take you through the hoods of Memphis, man. Glad you asked.
Man, we right here on Lauderdale in Parkway. This is where I got shot in the head. I got shot in the head right here at this park. I mean,
well, welcome to Memphis.
Man, we right here on Lauderdale in Parkway. This is where I got shot in the head. I got shot in the head right here at this park.
I mean, South Acres, we in this bitch, and you know, number big splash, you know what I'm talking about?
What's up with it, man? TK on the beat, TK on your hoe, TK on your street, TK in the farm, TK got the guys that's killing and shit like that. I think, like, bro, niggas just need to go out of town, bro, and explore the world. And you come back home, you gonna be like, hell nah.
Southside 2 where I'm at, brother. 93, we in this thing. It's gas.
Hey, you know, man, it's your boy J-Rock, man. J-Rock. Memphis 10, man. You know what I'm saying? Finna go in there, bitch, and turn these motherfuckers up.
Yeah, Tyree was just had every woman in fucking Memphis just dripping. Women in Memphis was just they see Tyree and they just automatically just fall to melts when they seen Tyree.
Popping 2 eyes on them motherfucker. You know what's going on, man.
What's happening, my boy?
Man, nothing finna enjoy the night. You know what's going on.
Facts. Tell them what's good, man. Let them know where we at right now, man.
Man, we in South Memphis right now. We in the heart of this shit. Yeah, we all meeting up right now. Nigga, get your ass out the...
Do you think he talked like that before he got shot too?
Yeah, but we in the heart of this shit. We right here on McKillen, what they call it.
That's how he got shot.
You know, a couple of miles down on the other side of South Memphis. You know, that what this shit happened off, but shit, we in the heart of this shit. We right up the street from all this shit. This shit ain't nothing but a circle.
Man, we know what just happened, man, with Young Dolph, man. Rest in peace, Young Dolph, man. And so,
isn't there a child? Isn't there a baby in the back of that car?
You know what I'm saying? We back to back at E-Lane. We try to make sure that you cremated. You hear me?
My boy right here was saying,
yeah, man. Say, man, you hear it.
Who we here with, man? Who we here with?
Brother Fire go, man. You never know how fire go, man. You hear me? Yeah, all that, all right. They stay. You know what the fuck we ain't. You heard on the radio. Man, we on the way.
Hey, y'all know we out here, man, in Memphis, man, with some of the realest, man. Make sure y'all smash that subscribe button, like, comment, subscribe, all that real stuff, man. Yeah. So my boy, who we here with? You know, man, it's your boy J-Rock, man. J-Rock. F10, man.
Man, we right here on Lauderdale in Parkway. This is where I got shot in the head. I got shot in the head right here at this park.
That's crazy.
And I got shot in the head and it came out my eye. Broke all the bones in my face.
Tell them a little bit more about that, man. How did that happen, man? Because it's a blessing that you're here right now.
2000, I want to say like 17. Nah, 2015. I got shot in the head.
How you don't remember what year you got fucking shot in the back of the head and the bullet came out your eye? I will remember the exact date, hour, minute.
Probably because he got shot in the head.
It could have something to do with that blunt that he's smoking over there too, you know. So
yeah,
isn't there a child seat in the back of that car?
I mean, of course, this guy's got a bunch of kids, man. Trust me, man. This guy got a bunch of kids. What's up, Brown Sugar? Smash, smash, right? Okay, she on mute.
It came out my eye, 5 people in the car. I'm the only one got hit. And my car got hit like 40-something times. And last year, I just got shot 10 times. Somebody tried to rob me for my motorcycle in Texas.
He just got shot 10 times last year.
Another 10 times.
He is a walking prayer, dude. Oh my God.
No,
he's
doing good. He's a regular dude. Do you see the crime numbers in this city? Who you think getting shot? Ghosts and fucking spirits? It's these guys.
Yeah, but he got shot 10 times and lived. That's crazy. And then he got shot in the head and lived.
It's a bunch of them. All the ones. Wait till you start hearing all these stories. All of them is shooting people. Who you think he ain't never shot nobody?
Yeah,
he
true.
Ain't never robbed nobody.
Bro, so I'm temporarily paralyzed. So happy I'm driving a van like it ain't nothing. You understand me? Yeah, this shit can't hold no robot down. You understand me? So, you know, niggas just keep pushing. But I ain't gonna lie. The pain, the depression, the anxiety, all this shit fucks with a nigga, bro. That shit fuck with a nigga. Nigga paranoid to death, but being paranoid like that is a good sign, bro. They make me stay on my toes. So make me stay on my toes.
What's man? That's an incredible story, bro. What's something you would tell people that's watching from like all over the world right now? Like, what's the message you would send to them?
Man, you know, if somebody try to rob you, just get this shit up. You know what I mean?
Somebody try to rob you, just get that shit up. That's some great advice, though, man.
That's some really good advice.
Yeah, but if the cops try to arrest you, do not comply.
Do not comply. Yeah, don't comply.
But if somebody wants to rob you, you better comply.
Yeah, because I mean it's easy to comply. If this dude ran up on, if all of us was just somewhere physically together, hanging out, and this dude ran up on us with a gun, I promise you we would comply. Dudes do that shit with cops because they know cops got the certain code. This dude don't have no fucking code. That's why Tyree, if this dude would have looked at Tyree, this dude probably could have strong arm robbed Tyree. Skateboarder dude, he could have probably said, man, give me your shit. Clinched at him, and Tyree probably would have gave him his wallet.
And still would have broke his neck.
But a cop, Tyree want to fucking run and play fucking hide and go seek and shit.
Bruh, like life too short. You know what I mean? So you wanna I say stuff like this, man. Like a lot of people that's going through what they going through, a lot of people that's murdering people and stuff like that. I think like if they was to go out of town and see different things, that shit wouldn't happen. You see what I'm saying? Like people ain't seeing the world, so shit happening. But if a motherfucker go out and see a blue ocean, motherfucker like hell, nah, I'm finna, you know what I mean? So motherfucker, I think about what's up, bro? You got a bus,
That's true. I feel him all that.
Y'all dumb as hell.
Got it.
Hey, ugly as hell. He knocking on my window and shit.
Yeah,
Crazy young man.
That's a good message, man, for real, for folks, man.
Yeah, I think if a lot of people, there's a lot of guys that's killing and shit like that. I think like, bro, niggas just need to go out of town, bro, and explore the world. And you come back home, you gonna be like, hell nah. 3 is gas, you dig?
We here with it, dog.
Big Capo, what's going on?
Yeah, man,
Rolling
chilling.
40, neighborhood. What's up with it?
What we getting into tonight, man?
I was finna turn this bitch up.
Yeah, we early, no? Y'all hosting that shit.
Yeah, we early. Yup. Man with the plan. No, me, I'm with the shooters and the shooters on. Black Haven.
Thanks. What happened,
Yeah, man, Black Haven Day is the motherfucker, man, you know what I'm saying? Come support Mac Butter, man, my king folk, you know what I'm saying? We're finna go in there, bitch, and turn these motherfuckers up. Oh, God. Yeah.
Drippy out here, boy. All y'all need to
And Ak.
Big drip, no whammies, all.
Them dudes right there, they the most like popular dudes like amongst females. Like they gonna get out of here. You mute Ak.
Hell, you think I don't know that I'm a son, man? I know that. Nigga, man, I know that, man. Like, them dudes, man, listen, man. Them dudes is like Denzel Washington to these.
Hell yeah.
Like, look with Chris Brown and shit.
Like a Marion or something.
Yeah, these motherfuckers, they got that sex appeal.
They could snatch you.
Hey, man, 7 day. When you stepping out here, cuz you taking a gamble out here, man. All the red lights, blow them. Stop signs, blow them. It's dark. Do not stop there. Now, y'all see.
You heard that? He tell you when you come ride through their hood, do not stop at a red light. Just run through it because you don't want to be around. You don't even want to be sitting at a light in their hood.
That's true. I blow them. 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm not stopping at no light because ain't no police gonna pull me off anyway. I'm gone.
So how happy do you think these guys are that the Scorpion unit's been disbanded?
Oh, they're excited. They're celebrating. They probably looting to celebrate the fact that the Scorpion unit is disbanded. Ain't got nothing to do with Tyree. They don't give a flying flip about Tyree. They don't care about him.
He wasn't even from the fucking city. He ain't even like if he maybe if he had been from the city and from one of the hoods or something, and they knew him or new niggas.
That's what I'm saying. He from like what, Sacramento or something like that. Then he a lame. Like them folks don't care about dude.
Yeah, he a lame too. Yeah, he a weirdo. They would call him a weirdo. Like
yeah, they say he a weird. He weirded.
Stop signs, blow them. It's dark. Do not stop there. Now, y'all see what's going on the chopper. Y'all surviving to eat. We surviving to eat. Crazy. Shit popping, girl. You got
Like 7th Street.
They rough too.
Hey, where's to get some money 7 days ago? Shout out to my cameraman, D Night.
Shout out Hood, KCG. 8 months, 7 days.
Leadership been going on today, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Niggas gonna go back to the pool, nigga, you know all that. You feel me? This shit crazy. Go to the pool party, cut that shit on.
You 2 niggas got killed right there.
You said 2 guys got killed right there? Like just right over there?
Dog got killed right up the street, you know. Like I said, that's the top, this the bottom. You hear me? Third world, you know.
It's not just in Memphis, it's how you portray yourself in these streets because people forget that there's laws and rules. We playing a game, but there's laws and rules.
It's more so negative than positive. But
look at where they hanging out at. Look at
Yeah,
this.
that's a vacant apartment complex. What the hell they doing over there?
At the end of the day, though, niggas still gonna make some shit happen regardless, though.
Don't come visit. Don't come visit.
At least not at this point.
Good. Got this right.
He said, "Don't come here."
And
You
how old
sound
is
like
that
me.
kid? How old is that kid?
Right,
It just said, "Don't come here."
12, 13, maybe 13.
They know what I mean by that, you hear me? So I come from the hood where you gotta keep a stick. Nigga ride around the city with a Glock on my hip. Nigga playing like a hoe and put a tag on his toe. 40 shots up in his mag, better nigga gon' blow. Hey, yo. Hey, okay. Miko worldwide, bro. Go fuck with him, man. Follow, man. Subscribe to my main channel. Get my boy up there, dog. We going Here with it, man. What's going on? It's your boy Lil Ear. Follow me on Instagram, LilEar_1.
Hey, we with the gang, no cap. Shout out my boy Lil E, man, for real. Hey, it's your boy Robert Rich, real Memphis jigging legend, man, no cap.
Sir,
Hey,
it
rock 2-time, man. Shout out to my homie E.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, man. We over here on Pendleton, man. We in Orange, man. I'm from the north, you know what I'm saying? But I got family, you know what I'm saying, all around and everything.
Yes.
Oh God.
What part of the north you from?
I'm from Fraser.
Okay.
I'm from the Bay.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you be doing out here in Memphis, bro.
Man, really, the main thing I can do is just like try to market myself and my music and my, you know what I'm saying, my name as much as I can. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But other than that, man, I'm really just trying to stay focused and stay out of trouble and shit, man. 24/7.
Let me ask you this, man. Ever since the Dolph situation, bro, with his passing, what's been the vibes like in the city, man?
It been a whole bunch of.
Yeah, 24/7, man. This shit don't stop, bro. Don't stop 24/7.
Let me get him on the blog. Hey, shout out y'all city, man.
What y'all got going on?
So it's a hood vlog. We be doing like hood vlogs and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's official.
I went to Bethel Grove and shit, like when I was younger and shit. I went to Bethel Grove and shit. So see, I got family and shit over there on Fillmore and everything. And they were our little area, bro. But yeah, I said, man, shit, this perfect place to do it at, bro. Shit, fuck it. I won't go nowhere else.
Yeah, man.
Look at that look at that.
He probably just got out of work, dude. He just got out of work. Probably.
So see, I got family and shit over there on Fillmore and everything. And they were our
Look
little
at
area,
the background.
bro. But yeah, I said, man, shit, this perfect place to do it at, bro. Shit, fuck it. I won't go nowhere.
Look at this right here. This drive, like. Now listen, I get it, man. These people grew up with the city fixing everything, and if the city don't do it or the state don't do it, it don't get done. But some concerned guys from the community, because everybody ain't a thug, everybody ain't a wino in the community, and I get it. You don't want to fucking spray power wash this shit or pick up all this trash and make this driveway nice and clean up all this trash over here. Because niggas gonna put it by a few days later, it's gonna look the same. Wow, it's just
Where else?
Yeah, man. Who we here with? Man?
Bottom, right here. They call this the bottom. Third
Bottom.
right here. That's the top. Like y'all should know about that. You know?
What's up? What would you say?
Where the car wash shit and stuff, you know what I'm saying, you know?
What it's like growing up out here in this part of Memphis?
You know? You gotta keep it moving. Keep some money in your pocket, you know, keep the pace going. It's all right.
Different perspective when it comes to this age group, actually, you know,
Okay.
people growed up in different time frames, so it's a different perspective, actually.
Okay.
So I'm like 34, so it was different when I growed up than when they growed up.
Okay.
So what I do, like, I be going to the library, I be finding ways to get back to the community, truth be told, you know what I'm saying?
What's up?
Trying to grasp the attention to what we can actually be positive in the community and move forward as a people, you know. We scream Black Lives Matter. I'm the only person telling people, you know, you saying police are being this way, but we're not telling people to actually be police officers, because you got to understand these people that we blaming on the police forces. They seeking for little solidification, which is like the mayor, lieutenant, but we're not telling our kids, man, y'all got to be police. Yeah, yes, that's the only way you can beat these folks is you get people to be these people, because human beings are being these people. You know, you got to play politics how you got to play it. If it's systematic and it's organized and human beings actually do these things in life, then get more human beings to do these things.
I get what he's saying. It just ain't coming out right, but I understand what he's trying to say. Poor thing.
It salute to him, man. He trying, man.
He trying. I get what he's trying to
make
say.
a difference instead of a race. When you say Black Lives Matter, meaning paint the difference and actually get different people other than your race to make a difference on the same cause that you doing. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, hit them folk with fact. What will be without them Quakers from slavery? You hear me? How would slavery be a perspective? You hear me? Yeah, without them Quakers. I'm out here.
You right about that. Them Quakers, boy.
I told you, Memphis folks, everybody in Memphis ain't on that level. Like, even though he a junkie, a lot of people, understand what it is and what it ain't, but sure, he a junkie.
24/7, man. Them folks know. Yeah. I get mad at these chunks. I be like, but y'all see me go to the library. You see me watch YouTube in the news and literally be like, I can kill these folks. I try to literally work through churches and all the police officer, fireman pension plan, sexual assault victim programs, all type of things. Okay. Solo panel design to get back, because right now we ain't got nothing but look at the park, Pete. Right, when you go right there, you're going to see a little small ass park. Right. You hear me? What you got the Men's Community Center, but right now you got the COVID, all this, so it's just fruit numbers, and right now you still got to have something for the low income. I mean, you got the library, but have you seen them library buses? That's why I told you about the age gap thing, because when I was young, we had the library buses come through to where you can get library card, get them books and stuff. So yeah, I've been trying to get people to donate, help donate.
You full of shit, man. You full of shit.
He been scamming.
Astro Airways.
But yeah, I'm for the north too, though.
That was the north?
No, that was Orange Man.
Oh, look at that, man. Would you walk down there?
Hell no.
What if somebody told you right there, if you walk all the way down there, man, they give you $100? Would you do it?
Not for 100, no.
Yeah, I do.
I give it a shot.
How many times would you get hollered at?
I don't know. If anybody
numbers.
That guy said he was like 34.
Yeah, that guy's 34 years old.
He a junkie.
That's city miles, not highway miles.
Willow
man.
Oaks, Memphis. Willow Oaks.
Those hurt.
Some more of the hoods out here. Willow Oaks. Just saying.
Wait, right there, I don't trust you.
That's a rough looking town, man. Listen, man, those people are happy that Scorpion unit is gone, man. That Scorpion unit was on these fools' asses, man. Let's see what they're talking about overseas.
The U.S. Memphis Police Department has disbanded the so-called Scorpion Special Unit, whose officers are accused of murdering Tyre Nichols. The 29-year-old black man was kicked and punched by 5 policemen who are also black. They've now been sacked and face multiple charges, including murder. A warning, Nader Tawfik's report does contain distressing images.
My fat ass need to go to a treadmill.
Incidents of police brutality. Memphis's worst fears never materialized as protesters remained peaceful. A considered effort by city officials to deliver swift justice for Tyre Nichols seems to have.
What do you mean swift justice? They got arrested. And arrested them. And the charges went on them. These people are fucking
stupid.
They're fucking mad. They make me want to pull your fucking hair out, man. People are fucking crazy, man.
Visions of balloons and teddy bears near crime tape left behind. Common sights in certain parts of Memphis.
That's every street. That's over there on.
I'm gonna buy myself a store. I'm gonna get a store selling balloons and teddy bears over there in Memphis because they're gonna make some money.
You see where they show that red teddy bear balloon? A man got to arguing with his girlfriend or something like that and caused a car accident and killed like 5 people. And then like the day before, 4 people got killed.
Yeah, it looked like a rough spot. that just looked like a place where, like, yeah, it's rough over there, man. People not invested in the community, so they. And
them balloons probably old as me. Like they don't never take the balloons down.
Yeah, they just let them biodegrade.
Parts of Memphis. Reminders of the lives cut short and the ongoing heartache.
Somebody took my baby.
2020 and 2021 were 2 of the deadliest years in Memphis, and we found out a majority of the homicides happened in the same neighborhoods. Using data we uncovered from the Memphis Police Department, we found out in the last 2 years, 497 homicides happened within these 10 zip codes. That's right. You can see they cover parts of Southeast Memphis, Whitehaven.
Who lives in these zip codes?
Black people. I told you East Memphis is terrible, man. I hate that part of Memphis. If they deleted East Memphis away, I'm telling you, a lot of crime will go away.
It's worse than South Memphis?
To me, it is. It's like in South Memphis, you know, it's junkies and drug dealers, but the East Memphis people over there, like, they criminals, they just target you like randomly.
Oh, okay.
North Haven, Oak Haven, South Memphis, Raleigh, Nutbush, East Memphis, and Fraser.
I'm not surprised.
Pastor Ricky Floyd's church sits in the Fraser zip code of 38127.
The contributing factors is poverty, low education, low transportation.
Similarities the 10 zip codes share. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the median household income is anywhere from $20,000 to $40,000, and in some zip codes, about a third live in poverty. A majority of the population is Black, and there's a large number of single-parent homes.
And the kids are not getting attention. Like, they go to school and they come home, so they act out because they're not getting attention from home.
Felicia Howard says there's not enough positive activities for kids to do in those
She
zip
lied.
codes.
Like, back then when I was growing up, we had Celebration Station, the different skating rinks to go to without the violence. You can just go.
She points to areas like
Not that bad of a neighborhood,
the Memphis area, where the most homicides occurred in the last 2 years. The city's website lists 2 community centers, several parks, and a library, but museums, malls, and movie theaters are all a drive away.
Museums.
Fraser used to be all white. Used to be 100% white. They had companies and factories there. The companies' factories shut down. All the white people left. But now they got an Amazon and a Nike factory in Fraser, so everybody there is employed.
Wow.
But museums, malls, and movie theaters are all a drive away. 38117 in East Memphis, which is similar in population to 38106, has all of those activities. Police say only 4 homicides happened there in the past 2 years.
Seen an increase.
20-year Memphis resident Barbara Tumblin believes more police patrols are the answer.
Would you like to see more police?
I would like to see more police.
So she wants to see more police, but I bet you she's celebrating now that the Scorpion unit has been disbanded.
She ain't about to get that, but
she's getting less police now.
Well, she just wants to see more. She doesn't want them to do their job.
Right. Because if Pookie gets a fucking fucking handcuffs put on too tight, she's gonna fucking be crying.
I would like to see more police.
MPD leadership says they are allocating resources to the hotspot areas, but admits They're short-staffed and officers are overworked.
Hit that PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat. We got 542 in the building, man. Salute to everybody, man. Hit the PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat. Support the channel. Salute to Razzle, man. My man Razzle, man. Salute to him, man. He said nothing sadder than the murder bears taped to the pole in winter. Murder bears. Call them Joe's murder bears, man. Yeah, man. The murder bears are very sad, man. Salute to Aster J, man. Aster J says, investigate cops, none for Breonna Taylor. Oh, yeah, damn. Yeah, Brianna, and Brianna and this guy got the same birthday, right? Salute to Aaron with the $1 Cash App, man. Brianna and Tyree got the same birthday.
They say hiring more officers is part of a new crime reduction plan recently unveiled. The plan includes 20 steps like working to get guns off the streets, building more youth programs, and increasing employment opportunities for ex-offenders.
This 5-year plan outlines a holistic approach,
trying to get a grip on a trend that got worse in 2020. Shelby County saw a 23% increase in violent crime, with shootings and murders to blame. 38127 in Fraser, 8 homicides were reported in 2017, the number growing to 24 in 2020.
And I don't want us to overlook the impact that COVID has had on those crimes.
I can't stand Ricky Floyd. He needs to be fat as hell. He get on my nerves.
Believes COVID stopped positive progress happening in his neighborhood. He says he was forced to close his church, halting programs like youth mentoring. Before COVID, 40 to 50 boys were enrolled. When he opened back up, only 15 to 20 came back.
So there's 30 boys floating around this community who are no longer being loved, mentored, encouraged, held accountable, and that's dangerous. Drug dealers still had access to them because the drug dealers didn't shut down. The gangs didn't shut down, but the churches shut down.
Floyd says we have to invest in the communities where
the churches didn't shut down. What is he talking about?
He says volunteer work, like mentoring a child, is vital.
Don't think because you don't touch it, you don't have to deal with it, that it's not gonna find its way to you. The criminals are gonna get bolder, they're gonna get more aggressive, and they're gonna get confidence to go outside of the comfort zone.
Police say the violence dipped last fall, but can't tell if that trend is here to stay.
Okay, so stop the press.
What is clear?
So the violence dipped last fall. Guess what happened last fall?
What happened last fall?
Well, last fall was when they instituted the Scorpion Unit.
Well, yeah. And now I guess it's going to be shocking. I wonder what they're going to blame the rise in crime this time. Because they're not going to blame it on the fact that the Scorpion Unit's gone. They're going to find another thing to blame it on. I wonder what that's going to be, though.
That woman talking about it's nothing for the youth to do. And she brings up Celebration Station. Celebration Station got shut down in 1998. Okay. Who cares? What is she talking about? And then the reason the skating rinks got so violent is because back when I was like 13, 14 years old, they stopped having skating parties and would just let the rappers rent it out the skating rink, and we have no ID required club parties. And so it attracted a lot of criminals.
The violence has become far too common.
I don't really know what happened. All I know is she got shot.
In too many neighborhoods.
Yeah, I wish it was a dream.
Jessica Gertler, WREG News Channel 3.
Now, if you would like to take a closer look at what zip codes had the most homicides, just go to our website and click on this story.
Tonight, the protests continue nationwide today for the Tyre Nichols case.
Oh, man. Listen, man. These people are fucking bizarre.
Visions of balloons.
These are some bizarre fucking
First, the
people,
U.S.
man.
Memphis Police Department.
These are some bizarre fucking people, man. I ain't even gonna lie, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you. These people are fucking bizarre. I've never seen anything like this. Like, no one else says or does the things that some people do. We don't have no rival. We don't have no equal. We don't have like that Black and Brown coalition.
Does not exist.
Burritos don't think like, they don't talk like this.
I had to tell one girl, she was like, because I'm brown and you black, and we the same group. I told her, no, we ain't, boo. I don't know what. Get that out your mind. Stop thinking that.
We are not the
They don't even like you.
Multiple homicides remain unsolved in the same neighborhoods in Memphis, and many are wondering if maybe a street code is to blame.
WREG investigator Jessica Gertler finds out why some people think people aren't talking, even in the most vicious crimes.
I bet you that Scorpion Squad will get you to talk. I bet you they could convince you to talk. What y'all think about that? Huh?
They're going to bring it back, but under another name.
Yeah, hope they do. They better, man.
April 17th.
Huh?
They'll call it the care unit or something.
Care. Creating a resilient East Memphis. Care 'em.
East Memphis used to be really nice and all white.
Yeah, everywhere used to be nice before we showed up.
15-year-old Jarvis Triplett is gunned down on his ATV near Mississippi and South Parkway.
I don't know why they would want to do this to my child.
And still, a year later, his mother has no answers. Despite the shooting happening on a well-traveled road on a clear Saturday evening, information is limited.
According to this Crime Stoppers bulletin, the shooters were in a white car, but it's unclear who was inside. Police need more information, and until they can get it, it's just another crime that remains unsolved.
Units on the scene of that shooting.
Boom, 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 boom.
This mother, too scared to show her face, says she woke up to drive-by shootings 3 times in 1 week on her Northeast Memphis block.
Yeah. Yeah. That's rough there, Jack. I ain't gonna lie, man. 3 times in 1 week being awakened to that. Shit. I mean, at least you wasn't never late for work. She can thank him for that. Honky Kong says they are correct that the Scorpion units are not the answer. What they need is an even heavier-handed unit, but they won't admit it. Diltberg says, I agree with that. That's very true. Diltberg says, from looking at the whole thing, Tyree was not the guy they really needed to hit. Totally agree they need Scorpions for the really bad dudes like Corn Pop. Yeah, man.
Injuring a man.
I did send a message citywide to be on the lookout for any shooting victims at any of the hospitals that come in.
And leaving multiple shell casings in the street. Stray bullets shattered her car window, went through her house, into her children's bedroom. These pictures were taken after the 3rd shooting on February 11th.
This time, as we're hearing the gunfire, we can hear the choo-choo sound of our glass windows breaking. We run out of our room not knowing if our kids are hit or not, because like I said, we can hear the glass breaking. We jump on top of them to the floor. Luckily, they weren't hit.
She thinks people know who's responsible, but choose to remain silent. She and others across the city believe that's one reason why violent crime...
Look at that downtown. That downtown doesn't look too bad. That looks like a decent city. I mean, looks like a decently modern city. I mean, I don't know what
downtown can get dangerous. I done ran from some bullets downtown before. I haven't been since then.
Believe that's one reason why violent crime continues to happen. It took WREG investigators months to uncover homicide data from 2017 through 2020 from the Memphis Police Department. We learned while more than 700 homicides have been solved, as of February, about 500 have not. Many of the unsolved cases are in the same neighborhoods, just blocks from each other. When we zoom into this area that includes Orange Mound, Bethel Grove, and other neighborhoods, you can see multiple unsolved homicides within miles.
We got to do better by one another.
Activist
was
Keith
every
Leachman has
street.
been urging.
That was every street.
Yo, if there was a glider area this small, like just a neighborhood, this is not the city. This is not a quadrant. This is in the borough. This is in the district. This is in a ward. This is just a neighborhood. If there was one neighborhood, a glider neighborhood like this, man, it would be like fucking Ted. They'd have to dig Ted Koppel up and like do a fucking Nightline special on it. Like it would be like the fucking sky is falling. This is every Sun City. You got multiple neighborhoods like this.
But no snitching, Ock.
Think about how living there.
They're
Like,
dead.
just the toll of living there, like it's like how how you would be like almost like an animal to live there. Like think about this, you're somebody who you live there, and you just every night people are dying. You know some you don't. The ones you don't, you may know them by a few degrees, or that's Miss Mary's son, or that's my baby mother cousin, or you know what I'm saying, you know the person through some degree of separation, and it's like you gotta turn you into a fucking psychopath to become that jaded to death, violent death, like not like people falling down the steps and no shit like that, like people being murdered in public.
Solved homicides within miles.
We got to do better by one another.
Activist Keith Leachman has been urging people to speak out against the violence in Orange Mound, where he believes a street code exists that encourages people to not cooperate with police due to fear of retaliation or not trusting law enforcement.
They got this thing about snitches get stitches, and a lot of people, if you see something, you should say something.
You got to get rid of this no snitch policy.
Ricky Floyd believes that street code also exists in Fraser, where he's a pastor. 3 homicides last year near his church on North Watkins remain unsolved.
We have unfortunately formed a culture in too many inner cities where we're protecting the criminal now.
Even in the most callous crimes, like the murder of a toddler. Layla Washington was fatally shot in a car on a busy road in Hickory Hill in 2017. Detectives made pleas for the public
They got
to come
him.
forward with information time and time again.
You would think that a 2-year-old innocent child.
They got him when this year?
Yeah, they got him. He just got sentenced 35 years.
35 years? Okay. What's up, Razzle?
Up, though.
What's going on? What you thinking about this, man?
Man, I just can't wait to see like crime stop in the Sun community, and they're like, we finally listened to 35-year-old granny and we started doing better. That's all they say. Every time there's a fucking problem, we got to do better. And the other thing I was thinking is some people, the most snitching ass motherfuckers I know, dog, go online. They're always telling on you for some shit, bro. They just don't. They won't tell in the streets, but they snitching like a mother. T.I. trying to get people canceled. Yeah, man.
Channel, man.
Yeah, bro. Like, why don't y'all live up to it? Like, what when it doesn't ruin your fucking neighborhood. I couldn't believe I saw T.I. I was like, someone need to cancel this man. I was like, bro, you came out of jail talking like that.
It's hard to snitch. Like for instance, if you do see something and you say something and they find out that you snitched, you gonna get dealt with.
Yeah, but can't you tell the cops anonymously, and you don't have to?
There is an anonymous line. That's true. There is an anonymous line. There is.
Then what do they want you to be a witness, come to court and all that bull crap?
I wouldn't snitch either, but I just don't snitch online. I keep that shit thorough. I'm you know what you're gonna get from me. I don't be like no snitching then tell on everybody. Some community don't snitch just because they scared of someone. It's not because they got ethics.
That's true. That's true. It's hit or miss with them. A lot of some people do snitch. That is true. A lot of some people do snitch to the police. It's just that, like it's like pulling teeth though. Sometimes, like the more dangerous the neighborhoods, like chicks snitch all the time in the hood on their boyfriends and shit like that. But as a community, yeah, we have gangsters going by street code, and then we have too many squares going by that same street code. Other communities don't have that. Other communities, you might have Italian gangsters going by the street code, but Miss Rigatoni and shit, she ain't fucking going by that code. She ain't expected to go by that code. It's only in the black community where even squares are expected to not snitch.
A 2-year-old innocent child, with her entire life ahead of her, someone would be so outraged that the phones will be blowing up, especially through Crime Stoppers. And that simply has not been the case.
It took 2 years for investigators to finally get the tip they needed to make an arrest. 2 years.
So what do we do to get more people to speak up?
Well, I think we just got to have better interaction between the police and the citizens. Trust factor is a big issue.
Memphis Police Major Webb Kirkdoffer says there are many reasons why crimes remain unsolved.
Time of day, whether there's cameras, how many witnesses you did have, what those witnesses saw.
But he believes those pockets of unsolved homicides you see on the map are a mere coincidence.
Do you think that still exists, that street code?
I'm not sure if there's a street code that exists that would prevent good citizens from coming forward and providing us information on any type of crime. I think the good law-abiding citizens in this city are not going by any code. I think if they have information, they will call and provide it to us.
Memphis police adopted methods like Crime Stoppers to allow the public to report information. A good start, according to this U.S. Department of Justice report. It notes nationwide there's a mixture of factors that keep communities silent, like racial disparities, failures of the criminal justice system.
Oh, we gotta fix this racism, man. Racism. Just lead with it. This is fucking. Did we mention racism yet? There's reasons why black people don't snitch. That white guy that lives 40 miles away.
Oh my God, man! You guys are our God.
I know, yeah. We live in your head, dog. I didn't even realize it was this deep, dog. Like, yo, gliders went years not even considering some people. It was just the news started beating us in the head. We were confronted. They were just minding their business watching Seinfeld.
Marcy. What's up, Marcy?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Awesome.
Would you just shoot that graphic that's on the screen? Is that how you would deal with this? What's going on, man? What do you think about this?
I mean, it's not. I think it's strange to hear a cop think that there's no code of silence in that community. I mean,
you knows too, huh?
Yeah, it's like, just what do you gain to lose by just flat out saying that there's a no snitching code that people are made to follow, whether they like it or not. And so yeah. I think it's so. But bring up the racist angle as to why no one talks is stupid. It's a distraction.
The other thing too is Brown Sugar, you probably know better than me, but like some of these neighborhoods, like it's families have been there forever, so like they're not gonna, they're gonna keep it within the family. They don't even need to go to law on some of this shit.
Well, and failures of the criminal justice system. They're complaining that there's not enough criminals being put in jail.
Bro, this is like reasoning with a fucking maniac. I just
no, it's not even moving the goalposts at this point. It's making it up as you go along.
Once they turn the fucking bunch of black dudes killing another black dude into racism, I just dropped the fucking. I just was like, all right, fuck it, go on, tell me more.
Salute to Nate Campbell, man. Nate Campbell says, I put super chat for the $5 challenge now that Razzle was here. Love his hilarious commentary. Come on, y'all. It's just $5. You can afford it.
I want to make 37 cents, bro. Watch.
Dilbert Gegg says, State of Osun, Nigeria has beautiful pics on Google Maps. Huge Catholic churches and architecture. Politicians wear funky wizard hats. Okay.
Was he talking about Memphis looks good from a distance and shit? Because I heard when you're like, look at how nice that city looks.
Yeah, definitely. Genetic Freak says, what's good, Orange Mound? Shout out to 8 Ball and MJG. Whitehaven, shout out to Tila and Gangsta Boo. 36, North Memphis.
36.
Coming out hard.
I thought Tila was from Houston.
And you got Yo Gotti, Moneybag, Yo Glorilla, and Big Boogie from North Memphis.
Shout out to Fraser. Shout out to Fraser Boy from Fraser.
Where's Kingpin's Skinny Pimp from?
Yeah, where Crunchy Black from, man?
I think Crunchy Black is South Memphis, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh no, man.
No, he irrelevant.
But yeah,
Where was Dusty Junkie from?
Who?
Dusty Junkie from the closed down apartments.
You talking about
their apartment complex?
Oh shit, man. Yeah, man. Let me move along, man.
Well,
So
it's more like Ashy Junkie, right?
The saddest cities make the best music, though.
Well, I mean, do they really or do they...
Memphis is? You guys just named some of my favorite people. And I like Al
This
Green.
U.S. Department of Justice report. It notes nationwide there's a mixture of factors that keep communities silent, like racial disparities, failures of the criminal justice system that allow dangerous criminals to continue to walk the street, and a lack of police protection if the perpetrator gets out. We don't know what tips, if any, have been provided to police in Triplets murder or in the drive-by shootings on this mother's block. Until an arrest is made, the message is clear.
If somebody knows anything, it's just disappointing that they wouldn't care enough about a child's life to say anything.
Jessica Gertler.
That boy looked like he was rough though, man. He looked like a rough little kid, man. He was out there.
Oh, and that kid's riding the ATV on a public way at 10 o'clock at night on a Saturday.
That's just how a lot of the kids out there look.
He's crispy though. He's clean.
He looks spoiled.
Yeah, he does. Like his dad's a dope dealer, and never had to. Always had the new shoes all the fucking
Some
time.
of these children, dad be working at the Hershey Company, fire department. Like
I
they
was talking about the kids I knew. I'd just be jealous. They'd have
a
new
lot of
feelers
these
and
kids
shit.
out here got mom and dad be making money and bread, but they just ghetto and want to be in the streets.
Word, true. It's because cats use their kids to fucking stunt. They stunt with their children to show you how good they're doing. They're like,
Yeah.
man, look at my kid, snakeskin.
Yeah,
Gucci."
they'll buy their kid whatever they want, but like she said, like that lady said, won't spend any time with their child.
And just ruin them.
Yeah, I seen a picture of a little baby's kid in kindergarten, and he had like a big ass chain on, and he went to school with nothing but a bunch of white kids, and none of those kids, I mean, they just look so normal. It was hilarious.
You know what those white kids had? Big ass fucking stocks and bonds. Yep. They got big ass
Trust
credit
funds,
scores.
college funds,
Trust
summer
funds.
homes.
That's hard to learn though, man. I didn't know that shit. I had to like tap on my rich friend's shoulder and was like, explain to me this stock shit. I didn't understand. It seemed like video games to me. But I was like, rich people are doing it. I'm gonna follow them.
Oh, no,
And I'm broke, so that
So I had some stocks in Home Depot, but like Home Depot, when I worked there, they would give you free stocks, like when you with your check and whatnot. Rather, you could take it to where they could take money out your check and buy stocks with it. And I was like, man, I don't want to do that. So I stopped. 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 I stopp But I didn't have enough. I didn't have enough to do nothing with. You need like hundreds and shit.
Yeah. You know the problem with broke people, and I'm including myself. This is what I would just look at rich people and be like, yeah, I want to be rich, and I would just do all the outer shit. Like I wear the right clothes to match them, but not do any of the right shit on the inside to stay rich. It took me years to figure that shit out.
Yeah, you gotta fucking. It's practices, man. It's the way of life, man.
More than 1,500 fugitives nationwide are behind bars tonight for violent crimes after a special operation led by the U.S. Marshal Service.
WREG investigator Jessica Gertler explains who they went after in Memphis and the impact they hope it has.
But this was a coordinated operation.
An operation that's been going on behind the scenes to combat crime in the Memphis area.
During the month of June, the U.S. Marshal Service deployed Operation North Star in Memphis and 9 other major cities.
Tyrese Miller is the U.S. Marshal for the Western District of Tennessee. He said the operation's goal was
the U.S. Marshal is a black dude.
The Western District of Tennessee. He said the operation's goal was to arrest fugitives wanted for the most violent crimes,
including homicide, rape, and sexual assault, robbery, and aggravated assault.
3 teams made up of federal, state, and local agencies worked around the clock.
Collectively, we located and arrested the drivers of violent crime and removed them from our communities.
They arrested 122 fugitives wanted for crimes in the Memphis area. 10 were wanted for murder, 8 for attempted murder, 12 for sexual assault and rape, 32 for aggravated assault, and 7 for armed robbery. Many have lengthy records. Some were on probation or parole.
Many of these individuals are individuals that are members of gangs in our city.
On the first day of the operation,
No
they
shit.
arrested a man accused of shooting 4 people in a car, killing 2 people, including a 15-year-old boy. They also nabbed a mother on the run accused of killing her 2-year-old son.
People who must not be forgotten are the victims of their crimes and some of the families who only have their memories.
Shelby County District Attorney Amy Wyrick says she's now working with the U.S. Attorney's Office.
She's the old district attorney. She just got replaced by that fucking idiot, man.
Bonded every one of these guys out.
Person represents a
He did.
reported kidnapping so far.
Yeah, this guy.
Take a look at your screen. Each person represents a reported kidnapping so far this year in the city of Memphis.
Yo, y'all like Tijuana down there, dog.
I mean, golly,
City
man.
of Memphis.
If I hear one kidnapping, I'm alarmed, number one, because it's somebody's been being deprived of their freedom.
We spoke with Benny Cobb, a retired captain with the Shelby County Sheriff's Office, to review the data released by the Memphis Police Department. So far this year, MPD confirms there have been 117 reported kidnappings. According to the department's data hub, there are 157 reported kidnapping cases in 2021 and 154 in 2020.
Well, at least
So in 2021, guess what happened between 2021 and 2022?
What?
The
No.
Scorpion unit was created.
Oh shit!
The numbers are consistent. Not all of the reported kidnappings are kidnappings. Not all the reported kidnappings are violent or a situation where they're never found. We need to continue living our lives, keep jogging, keep going to the mall.
Reflecting on the horrific kidnapping and murder
What?
of Memphis mother and jogger Eliza
Well,
Fletcher.
yeah, I mean, everybody's not gonna get fucking kidnapped while they're jogging. You gotta.
If you look like that lady, you will. Just know that. Just jogging. Don't be
4:30.
open-minded.
Well, 4:30 in the morning though. Like
That man raped and kidnapped anybody.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, he was doing a lot of that. But
Yeah,
she
I
was jogging 4:30.
He didn't
If you're jogging in Memphis like fucking like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in an area, like everybody's not. This is why people have these ideas, because everybody doesn't get fucking nabbed and shit while they're jogging. Everybody doesn't get carjacked.
Yeah. But I was just saying, like, stay in the middle of the fucking road. But yeah, sure.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Especially if you're glowing.
Don't go out half naked either.
Well, I mean, like that's.
What you saying? She had on some rape me shorts?
That's her jogging clothes.
Well,
care.
He was gonna rape her anyway. Cleopatra is a rapist. He kidnapped a man.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he originally went to jail for. The first time
that's
was a
right.
man.
Yeah, it's true. But he think about it. If she would have went out running like with her Rocky suit on, like you know what I'm saying, like the full sweatsuit and shit, yeah, he would have still ran up on her. If 4:30 in the morning and she's out there alone, it wouldn't matter.
Runners are worse too because like a motherfucker sees you and they got enough time to decide if they want to fuck you up or not. Like if you're on a bicycle, sometimes you can just cruise right by before they even get a chance to fuck you up. Running, they got all day.
Salute to TC, man. TC says jump out unit kept the DMV in line during the 80s and 90s. Memphis needs the Scorpion unit. Yeah, you know the jump outs, man. The jump outs, man. Yeah. They had niggas could see them though. See the thing about the jump out unit, the homies, they could spot them. They could spot the jump outs and they could see them moving. If they had cell phones back in those days, a lot of dudes could have they could have had spotters and whatnot, and they could have got dudes to make a phone call like, hey, jump out's coming up such and such street, man. They coming up your way. But back in those days, you ain't have really cell phones like that, so you might see them and you like, oh shit, they going up such and such street. They fuck right now because you know what street they going to, and you can't warn them. But yeah, that jump out unit is legendary in DC, man.
Cobb says in most cases, stranger danger is a factor.
We saw the situation up there at the Target. A lady was kidnapped with a child while she was putting a grocery in the car. Then there was another situation where somebody kidnapped a couple of kids.
Incidents Marquita Odom with the YWCA says will have a lasting impact.
Most times, that person who has been a victim of kidnapping is never lives a normal life again.
With Fletcher's case devastating hearts across the country, she believes it will shed new light on resources for kidnapping victims.
Because of that unfortunate situation with Mrs. Fletcher, that things will change.
Yeah, right.
She needs to shed some hair on that fucking forehead. Look at that motherfucker. She looked like that cop. You know you done fucked up, right? You know that, right?
I thought that was a dude, honestly.
Oh,
Yo, man. Yeah, I can't even imagine getting snatched up like that. That'd be fucked up, especially as a dude.
Yeah.
Hey, Shay, long before the tragic death of Tyre Nichols, many across the community were pushing for reform within law enforcement. Now they're hopeful that it can happen sometime soon.
Is it me or is the sound low?
Man, I don't know. I can't figure none of this shit out, so I'm gonna shut up. But I didn't want to ignore.
Tyre Nichols, many across the community were pushing for reform within law enforcement. Now they're hopeful that it can happen sometime soon.
Tragedy has a way of bringing folks together,
It's just sadness right now.
especially when it's unexpected, like the death of Tyre Nichols.
It's hard to come back from the thoughts of what.
You people don't give a this. This is a mental. I don't know whether these people are evil, because there's a level of evil to act like you care about somebody and you don't. I think that's evil. You don't give a fuck about a person and you're outside with a bullhorn proclaiming that you do.
Yeah,
That's an evil person.
Man, you ever notice? This was like a news thing. Like I wanted to say like rest in peace to a dead person, and everybody was telling me they was sorry. I was like, yo, man, I don't want to get likes for my friend being dead, and I think these people get like attention off of like sadness, so they just double up on it. Like, yeah, I was there for that. I marched.
People are sick.
Yeah.
Like, look at this white kid right here. The only reason he can stand right there is because
Gliders just might be waiting for black people to get killed by cops so they can just go see what the neighborhood looks like and not get fucked up. I'm an ally.
What the?
Safaris and shit.
Like, what the fuck, man?
In a bulletproof Pope mobile.
Straight up.
It'll be like in Jurassic Park, with those jeeps and stuff,
Yeah, this is insane. These people are sick.
the thoughts of what he went through.
The 29-year-old died earlier this month after video shows he was beaten by Memphis police officers following a traffic stop, ultimately leading to the creation of a memorial where one of the encounters with police occurred, not far from his home. The site bringing out residents like Andrea Jackson.
To lose his life when all it took was compassion, communication. It reminded me that how this could happen to anyone. And, you know, the city really needs to come together.
It's a thought not only shared by Jackson, but also...
So
Nobody knew this guy.
Besides put your hands behind your back, what other communication was necessary?
I mean, if you saw the video earlier with the other guy who had the girl's phone, like they want you to fucking just like spend like hours with them. It's like I think there's a level of this where you're the father figure they never had, and they just want to spend time with you if you're a cop. Like it's crazy.
Like a 4-year-old throwing a tantrum.
Yeah.
Or some shit like that.
Like, what the fuck?
And it's fucked up because these guys are awful, but like it seems like the more understanding you are, the worse it is too. Like the Minnesota cops talking to old boy for like 37 minutes.
Oh, that's right. I gotta go to Minnesota. I was supposed to go there yesterday. We're going to Minnesota next. But that wouldn't have been awful if he had put his hands behind his back. It only got awful after he ran and disappeared for 7 minutes, and they found him in like a fucking cul-de-sac somewhere, and he still was resistant.
Plus, we don't see what led up to that stop, or like how long they had to chase him down before he stopped finally. We didn't see what even led up to that.
They took out their whole fucking week on his ass, though, man. We're talking mad shit.
Who held a demonstration outside of a Memphis police precinct Sunday.
What are you going to do when MPD gets behind you?
This is nothing new.
Pull the fuck over.
It's a systematic thing. It's a systematic problem. You have to change it within the system.
Following.
Oh my God. If she say system one more time.
I know, right? That's all she knows.
Well,
today's workday, kids, systematic.
Problematic, systematic, toxic.
So what's the advice? Is it a low speed chase or a high speed chase?
I don't know. Ask the bull dyke. She'll know. Fucking that's when I want an answer. I rub a bull dyke like a genie.
These guys, think about it. She doesn't know what that means, though. Like in her mind,
look at her in the distance. Look at her.
I'm a sun person. I promise you. When she's saying it's a systematic change, you know how like when you say something, you're visualizing what that thing actually is. When she's saying that, she has no clue what the fuck systematic what it means. She's not
that light bulb dim.
Yeah, she's not envisioning like some system and some things. It's just the word. She's just saying the word.
What do you think she's picturing?
I mean, it's 5 cops that broke the rules and went overboard and killed the guy in the process. What can you do?
Right. How do you change that? Like, this is the question I have for everybody. What you saw on that tape when they called him the second time, was that legal?
No.
Okay. So if that was illegal already, what the fuck do you need to change? It's already illegal what they did.
Exactly. Look, you can't stop people. You can't stop everything.
But what if you made it extra illegal?
But no, you make it to where cops can't stop drivers like they did in Philadelphia.
That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get they're trying to apparently what they're trying. Ben Crump wants them to do, because he's trying to dictate policy now, is he wants them to not pull anybody over anymore for anything.
You hear them all the time. Oh, they've got their license plate number. They can just catch up with them later.
Kidnapping finna really go up now.
Oh, God.
I made some lawyer never talk to me again because he said that shit to me, and I clowned him at a baby shower. Yeah, just let him go. Nothing can happen. I was like, what are you? Shut up.
crazy, man.
Yeah, that's how you get no-knock warrants and knock and announce warrants, and they always end up well, right?
Man, I'm just gonna move to Jupiter.
The death of Tyre Nichols.
Let's see what they're talking about in Minneapolis.
But how they gonna make money? Cause don't like tickets generate money for the city?
Well,
It does, but like
they're talking about stops for one of the reasons why they do stops is because they kind of want to check out the person in the car. Real talk. It's not only about for the guy doing something, you know, or they might want to make a stop because, you know, they're using an excuse for a stop because they think the car is suspicious or something.
that's why I hated them seatbelt laws. It was just like to fucking put one more reason to pull my ass over. It was like, leave me alone, dog.
Yeah.
The death of Tyre Nichols at the hands of Memphis police officers is promoting calls for change all across the country. Fox 9's Corin Hoggard shows us how Memphis could impact Minnesota.
A second day of protests over Tyre Nichols' death drew hundreds of people to the streets in cities across the country Saturday. Minnesota voices are also re-entering the conversation.
Say his name. Tyre Nichols.
They don't even know, like, no one's ignoring this one. You fucking fat moron, dog. Go have diabetes somewhere else.
Why these white people involved in this?
Minnesota's the worst for that's where all the Thor gliders are at, and they're super open-minded and they suck now. They used to be awesome and now they suck.
This group of justice advocates agrees police culture encourages the type of conduct they saw in videos released Friday night. 5 officers participated in the arrest and beating leading to Nichols' death. All 5 were fired and charged with second-degree murder. Minnesota,
a lot of black people in that call.
The people of Memphis.
While they're trying to deal with their grief, we know what people will say. Are they going to loot? Are they going to riot?
Probably.
That's the focus. Material things, not human lives that are needlessly taken.
We have failed George Floyd.
Listeners are focusing on material things.
Yeah, she's the only one that's like cha-ching.
And the looters, like in Memphis, if they come and destroy a grocery store or whatever the case may be, you destroying black lives. Because guess who works there? Black people. Guess who shop there? Black people.
And then they say food desert when there's nowhere to go. And look at me. And I'm like, oh, well.
Taken.
We have failed George Floyd.
CARE Minnesota Executive Director Jaylani Hussein says activists need to head back to the Capitol with the same intensity they brought after George Floyd's murder. He blames both Republican and
that's inciting the riot. He's literally inciting the riot. What the fuck? That's a danger. He should be arrested for saying that.
Hussein says activists need to head back to the Capitol with the same intensity they brought after George Floyd's murder. He blames both Republican and Democratic legislators, but says the DFL could pass police reform and accountability laws now that they control both legislative houses and the governor's mansion. Instead, he says it doesn't even seem to be on their agenda.
Empty words of saying things that don't mean anything.
Because crime in Minneapolis is going through the roof.
And they can't hire cops to save their lives. They cannot find anyone who wants to be a cop there.
And the man who killed George Floyd is held accountable. He's in jail.
Tyre back, and they're not going to save the other victim that the police are going to kill in minutes, in hours, in days from now. What we'll do is
in a country with 350 million people.
Policies.
Protests in Memphis may have already had an impact.
They're so fucking in the like I don't know if you noticed this, Ak, but in the story before, like, why is crime all fucked up? It was everything they begged for. It fucking was the reasons. And then this guy, like, you want diversity hires. All right, you got diversity hires, and they gut stomp somebody. So congrats, dog.
Actual
lower standards.
Protests in Memphis may have already had an impact. On Saturday, the police department disbanded the Scorpion Special Unit on which the 5 officers served. And Minnesota Representative Cedric Frazier says police reform absolutely is on the agenda this session.
Making sure that we have true accountability and we have true
true public safety and true community safety for everyone in every community, no matter what your zip code is, no matter what your skin color is. That is the goal, and we will always be working toward that.
Fraser says he expects hearings on police reform bills addressing qualified immunity, pretextual traffic stops, and no-knock warrants, among other issues. Corin Hogger, Fox 9.
See right there, pretextual traffic stops.
Mail call
That's
that
it.
shit.
Yeah, it's really, really scary.
You better watch your six when you're driving, man, because they ain't going to be able to pull over anybody who's impaired or anything.
Minnesota's like the Midwest California, dog. I hate those fuckers, man.
It's worse.
I hate
And it's been that way for years.
It was the community. The community came with their Ring cameras, their phones, everybody. Facebook, everything.
That is the family of star Minneapolis North High student athlete Deshaun Hill Jr. celebrating a guilty verdict Thursday. Hill's loved ones and many others believe justice in this case would not have been possible without the community stepping up to help law enforcement.
Our Paul Bloom joins us now. And Paul, you've covered this story from beginning to end now. And there's one thing that really kind of stands out is that police really kind of can't do this alone, can they?
They absolutely can't. This was a fascinating trial to sit in on. I was there all week, and yesterday heard over and over again from the Hill family. You heard those sentiments there, and then the authorities over and over, sitting through the entire trial, could not be more crystal clear. The police need help. Consider when detectives arrived at that shooting scene middle of the day last February, they had nothing, no clue who fatally shot the standout quarterback right there on that cold, snowy sidewalk blocks from North High School. The lone witness who saw any of the shooting at all reported that the gunman was black. That ended up not being true, of course. Homicide investigators would desperately need surveillance footage from a nearby corner store and from home security systems that captured portions of the encounter and the movements of the defendant both before and after.
And
I'm just thankful that in this case, so many members of the community were willing to step up and say something.
Yeah,
that doesn't always happen. There have been a ton of cases.
Sure. Yeah, you can snitch on white people all the time.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's the only reason dude wasn't black.
Yo, bro, they had a news story to break the news that he wasn't black. That's how fucking uncommon it is.
And that's how happy they are that this guy's going to be like what the good news for this guy is that he's going to be in a cell block, probably just going to be private.
I feel like the whole
let out.
I think everybody's thinking the same shit and nobody says it. So it's just very uncomfortable. Everybody, the liberal, the gliders, every pasties, it's like it was a black guy, and then they'll be wrong.
And there have been a ton of cases where nobody steps forward. But good news for this case. And what was that original tip that really sort of pointed police in the direction of foreign cam here?
Right, because it started out as a real whodunit, but they did. They got a very interesting tip from law enforcement up north, northern Minnesota, Indian reservation. Law enforcement called down to Minneapolis police and said something about Cody Forencamp being in some trouble in Minneapolis. That's the lead detective on the case there. They ran Forencamp's photo here, began to match up with some of the surveillance videos they had collected. Also, neighborhood eyewitnesses near Penn Avenue and Golden Valley Road who had come into contact with Forencamp on the day of the deadly shooting, picking him out of a random photo lineup. Obviously, some stellar investigative and prosecutorial work to piece this whole thing together.
There wasn't, like you said, kind of the smoking gun, right? There was, you do a little bit of everything, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then put it all together, and they get us to the point where we found the verdict that we came to.
And no doubt the guy in red pants is Cody Forencamp.
There wasn't any doubts whatsoever. Everybody agreed it was quick and as it should have been.
It's been 10 minutes.
It took them under an hour, and in fact, just minutes. They walked into that room. They were all unanimous, guilty, second degree murder.
Something wrong with y'all people.
Sentence on February 28th.
And one of the quickest jury outcomes.
Something wrong with you gliders.
It's what it is. It's the rich gliders. Fucking they weaponize themselves against all the other gliders, and we can't say shit. I yell things, but like you just don't hear it.
Like them folks really doing a story on the fact that the man that killed the other guy is white.
And that was you see how smug that white dude was.
That's disgusting.
I saw him. I knew he was a killer.
But it proves everything they try and claim.
But they know deep down that some people are who they're really afraid of, because everything they do is out of fear of some people. They pretend like I'd hate them more than actually. You're supposed to hate white people. White people supposed to like my ass.
I don't hate no one. I just wish this crime would just get under control.
I guess I'm saying everybody has in-group preference except for these rich fucking assholes
I've ever seen.
Yeah, and in a high-profile case
Right.
with a ton at stake, and people knew that they were being watched, the media was there, and yeah, they
usually
really
have so much evidence to go through and the jury instructions to go through too, and
Right.
boom, to spit that out in 45 minutes. Oof.
Again, police work and the community added up, you get those convictions.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
So what happened? Like, are they?
And there isn't going to be any DA that's going to look at that case in 10 years and say, "Oh, the prosecutors didn't give him this piece of evidence."
Oh, it was a black man that did it. You was wrong.
Well, on the same day as the memorial service for 15-year-old Deshaun Hill, charges have been filed in the fatal shooting.
Hill was shot and killed earlier this month near a bus stop. Fox 9's Paul Bloom begins our team coverage.
Randy and Kelsey, prosecutors filed second-degree murder charges today. The allegations even more senseless, even more tragic than we first thought. Turns out it is possible here that star North High student-athlete Deshaun Hill was shot in the head for something as little as brushing shoulders with the suspect out on the sidewalk just blocks from North High School.
Well, you got to hand it to that glider, man. He's kind of picked up on the whole son thing, man. He shot the guy just for brushing shoulders. That's a son thing to do.
We're adapting, dog. Watch out. You saw what they doing in the NBA right now, bro. Like, be careful with us.
Yeah, he the Luka of the streets, man. Salute the Deluxe 247, aka Cal Rookin, aka the real MVP, coming through once again.
And my son was by himself, and this person crossed paths with him. So they know. They know.
When we first met Deshaun Hill's family shortly after the deadly shooting almost 2 weeks ago now, they had an idea about what happened to their precious 15-year-old son and brother. Shot once in the head, just blocks from North High School in the middle of the day. They just did not know the who or the why.
The what? What reason? What?
He wasn't
reason?
gang affiliated. He was
She
nice.
smiled.
Everybody loved him. If you met him, you loved him.
On Tuesday, prosecutors charged Cody Thorncam with second-degree murder. Court documents suggest a 29-year-old might have brushed shoulders with the North High standout student-athlete and starting varsity quarterback on the sidewalk near the Golden Valley Road intersection with Penn Avenue. Surveillance video captured 3 gunshots, Thorncam fleeing afterwards. Witnesses at the scene reported that he was acting aggressively beforehand, upset that someone had allegedly stolen his cell phone. No mention that that person was Deshaun. Thorncam eventually positively
Oh, so somebody stole a cell phone, so he was already pissed.
And you know what the Sun Man died of? Sun Man privilege. Y'all never think about this, but you never move out the way when you're on the fucking sidewalk. And you got
they move for each other,
but not for gliders, because gliders move for y'all, or because
Yeah.
they don't, they want to.
No,
I move because I move because normally every time I walk past a glider, they got a big old nasty dog in their hand. I don't like dogs.
It's the dog, but
They need to get a new stat of how many people got shot the last month for cutting in line, stepping on somebody's shoes, or bumping into somebody.
That dude bumped the wrong glider.
Well, but there's no question on why in the middle of the day, in the middle of the week, this kid was blocks from his school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why wasn't he in his fucking school? And why
Was it a school? Was it a school day?
And did he have this guy's phone? Because remember, they said they're not going to talk about whether he had the guy's phone or not.
that person was
Yeah.
Deshaun. Thorncam eventually positively ID'd through a photo lineup.
I want justice for my son.
You need some baby powder for your face or some shit,
So
Glad.
I want justice for my son. He was a good kid, and he did not deserve this at all.
And his sister
Thorncam has a
is
criminal
now the
history
queen
that
of the
has sent him to
school.
He picked on the wrong glider. Look at this guy.
Remember,
Why, like, if your son is so talented, you should have packed your bags and move your whole family away from the area where you know, like, he had a higher chance of getting murdered. Yeah, you got a son that's an athlete, that's good. Shit, get him away from that area.
That's a lotto ticket. What are you doing?
Where?
Exactly.
Move where?
I don't know.
How do you
Find
think?
a Walmart parking lot in the nicest white area and live there until you get on your feet. Get them the hell away from over
LeBron's
there.
parents didn't pay for his private school education.
Yeah, I mean, this kid could, yeah, if you're good enough, you can go anywhere. Yeah, but remember they used to say criminals past history doesn't matter. You can't hold that against them. Are you bringing up the past?
Thorncam has a criminal history that has sent them to prison for an arson case in northern Minnesota and a 2014 robbery in Hennepin County. Prosecutors claim that while in jail in recent days, Thorncam has used his phone calls in an attempt to set up an alibi for himself in the cold-blooded shooting of Deshaun Hill.
And online jail records show that Cody Thorncam's bail was set at $1 million, his first court appearance tomorrow afternoon. Now, meantime, family and friends gathered to honor Deshaun Hill this afternoon. My colleague Karen Scullin continuing our team coverage, bringing us today's poignant memorial service from downtown Minneapolis. Good evening, Karen.
Okay, so looks like that guy just a random.
Yeah, it's sad. 15 years old. Feel bad for the mother. Glad the dude got caught. Nothing else we could do.
It's
now.
kind of weird they won't say anything about the guy's phone though.
Well, I mean that's not an excuse, but
yeah, I mean he shot him dead in the head.
Yeah, but still, look at that. You guys expect more out of gliders. You're fucking.
Well, no,
it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse for no one to shoot anybody in the head over a damn phone.
Yeah,
Period.
I mean, you saw that picture, man. He's a tough looking glider. That's a glider you don't want to mess with.
That's a Fenty glider.
Wow, they're at the police mansion in fucking Minneapolis protesting.
It's this culture that says it doesn't matter whether the police officers are black, Hispanic, or white, that it is somehow allowed for you to trample on the constitutional rights of certain citizens from certain ethnicities and certain communities.
That was civil rights attorney Ben.
I think the public sentiment is going to turn on him soon, man. He's riding high right now, but it's got to turn, man.
Who is this guy?
He's suing the state of Florida. He's suing the state of Florida for that anti-CRT legislation.
Fuck him.
People are going to get tired of this guy, man. He's a fucking.
I noticed this motherfucker don't live in Chicago though.
Body cam video released of Tyre Nichols being beaten to death by police. Today, we learned court records show the former Memphis Police Department officers will be arraigned on February 17th. They're facing several charges, including second-degree murder. Activists across the Twin Cities gathered this afternoon at the governor's mansion for a march. They're demanding justice.
Why are they at the governor's mansion in Minnesota?
Why to keep demanding justice? They got arrested. They getting charged. What else do they want?
What can the governor of Minnesota do? Like, what could he possibly do?
They want him dead.
These people are dumb on every level.
even that might not be enough.
That's like me trying to take a blender back to fucking Target when I bought it at Walmart. It doesn't make it why are you even talking to these people? It doesn't matter.
All these people
but you sell the same blender.
Yeah.
No, goddamn well I shoplifted it too.
All these people should be fucking arrested, man. This is fucking harassment. This governor is in the house sleeping, and he wakes up and it's fucking 100 people outside his door. And he's like, well, what happened? And they're like, oh, yeah, a guy in Memphis got beat to death by 5 black cops. It's like, what?
Almost a month ago.
For Nichols and all victims.
Wait till they hear about South Africa.
Carmen Nero was at this march today and shares what people had to say.
More than 100 people marched in front of the governor's mansion in St. Paul here today, holding signs that say justice for Tyre Nichols. Families supporting Families Against Police Violence and several other local organizations say this rally is in solidarity with the family of Tyre Nichols and the people of Memphis, all demanding justice following his death. This comes just days after Memphis police shared body camera and surveillance video showing the deadly beating. Some here say they're now urging for more policies to prevent this from happening again.
It's traumatizing to me because we know when we step outside or when we're traveling that we are possibly could be killed by police because of the.
Hell no.
Never had an instance ever.
I mean, what the? And this guy, like, they just lie, and I'm sure this woman right here believes that. But let me tell you guys. Speak to all the gliders. This guy is fucking lying. He doesn't feel like that.
It's traumatizing to me because we know when we step outside or when we're traveling that we are possibly could be killed by police because of the color of our skin.
This is not the only rally taking place. Organizers
The man that killed them was black.
Later this week.
Smash.
Reporting in St. Paul, Charmaine Nero, Care 11 News.
Shit,
Yo, you know who's really fucking the Sun people up is the middle class Sun people. They're really fucking, like, every time someone dies, they're eating off of that shit. And instead of, they could be like, hey man, why don't y'all chill the fuck out and stop acting like a nut? Because he's avoiding that kid's family at Thanksgiving. They're like, oh, I don't want to see Chris's kids. Some fucking asshole.
This is insane, man.
Just one day after body camera footage was released of the beating of Tyre Nichols, the Memphis Police Department says it will be deactivating its Scorpion unit. All 5 officers fired and indicted with murder in the death of Nichols were members of this unit. It stood for Street Crimes Operation to Restore Peace in Our Neighborhoods. It's a decision that all 30 officers assigned to the unit agreed with. Meanwhile, the Shelby County Sheriff has put 2 deputies on leave that were at the scene of the beating. The sheriff says they are also launching an internal investigation. Peaceful protests continue across the country in response to Nichols' death at the hands of police. For Minnesotans especially, seeing footage of police brutality is all too familiar following the deaths of people like George Floyd and Daunte Wright. Devon Ramin shows us how members of the community are working to help people cope.
The reality of what took place involving the death of Tyre Nichols.
The lack of compassion.
This IP.
Of it all.
I wish weighing heavily on the hearts and minds of many, which is why Pastor Brian Herron opened the doors of Zion Baptist Church in North Minneapolis, creating a safe space for those searching for answers while trying to heal.
We have to find ways to turn our pain into purpose and to be more determined than ever to transform the culture of policing as well as transform the atmosphere in our own community.
So I think to verbalize it, especially with other in a positive, safe space, can truly help in the healing process, to not stay in the negative darkness of it, and to be able to move forward in a healthy way.
What?
I can think of is that 2-year-old girl who got shot in the face was in Baltimore the other day. And that little girl did not, we all wish that she had the choice to put her hands behind her back and get handcuffed instead. I mean, this is ridiculous.
This woman is having trouble moving on. It's just,
you know what's really helped the race shit is stop bringing it up all the fucking time. Just an idea.
Process, to not stay in the negative darkness of it, and to be able to move forward in a healthy way.
I guarantee you that lady practiced witchcraft and Christianity.
It's okay to take
full moon dances
are once again having to repatch old wounds.
Watching folks who look like you or who are being, assaulted, beaten, however, because of their affiliation or closeness to resembling you or people who you know and love, that kind of stuff still takes its toll on your psyche.
That's exactly why I can't watch war movies anymore.
This guy's
Fucking ridiculous.
That's
I have a question about his hair.
Thick, saucy son.
I have a question about his haircut.
It's fake.
Yeah, but is it fade? Is it an effect that's fading into the background, or is it actually his hair?
It looks like, I don't know, something's going on in shadow or some shit. Maybe they're blurring out the background because you think that's something.
You know what you should do? Ask to touch it. Some people love that shit.
I don't mind.
That's how you make a new friend. And
I
then ask them
know.
to give you a rapper name.
You see, black women, they'll make like videos on YouTube about how white women would touch their hair and invade their safe space and all that bull crap. I'm like,
Hey,
girl,
you didn't see my videos I was making how they fucking steal my texture. I'm like, quit jacking my motherfucking flat hair.
but you see, it's like a
My good
trend.
hair.
It's a trend on social media now with black women, and they wearing like what's that color? Like a brunette color or a reddish brown color, ginger color hair. And I'm like, how is this not cultural appropriation?
Everything black women do is cultural appropriation.
Yeah, but they complain about white people doing stuff. And I'm like, come on, you're not ginger, you know that.
Well, you know, the wild shit is life is cultural appropriation. That's how we grow as humans. We're like, hey, I like that style. I'm gonna grab that, and you just add. Black people, we sound bitter as fuck when they say that. You're like, all right, dog,
like
get
you or who are being, assaulted, beaten, however, because of their affiliation or closeness to resembling you or people who you know and love, that kind of stuff still takes its toll on your psyche.
Which is why Dr. Alvin Akbar, a psychologist and policy research director with the Twin Cities Urban League, is encouraging those near and far to come together and heal as one.
And let's try to figure out how we actually move forward, and maybe start by listening to the folks who have been pretty consistent about what's due this whole time.
I know what he's gonna do.
Try to have empathy.
I want him to apologize for wearing that Scottish print
None of us,
shirt.
None of us have to be perfect. To
You got on white people.
Yeah, look. That's why. Look, they're not. They don't listen to us. They
What's
listen
wrong
to.
with y'all?
What? Stop judging them and go fucking finesse them. They don't listen to me.
There's one black guy right here.
Where?
Right
Right there? I could barely see him.
This is ungrateful.
He's sitting next
white
to his
people.
white girlfriend.
These are all the rich white people that ain't never had to work for shit in their life, and they hate themselves for it. So go finesse them. You can probably get some dough out of them too. I don't care. Just
I don't go around them. They look like they're kind of stanky out there.
well, guess what? You can keep having these problems in the hood because they're the ones
I'm not in the
that
hood
cause
no
it.
more, so I don't hate them.
Well, you can't go back then.
I don't want to go back.
Take it
I'm
back.
glad. Did you hear the dude in Memphis? He said, once you go out, look at the ocean, and you come back to Memphis, you like, nah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Well,
Ooh, I know she munched on some carpet.
Look at
the whole thing, like the one dude looks like he just ate a bag of dick and donuts, and then look at this motherfucker right here, this fucking tiny man.
It's insane, man.
Fucking
Okay, so when
Clark Kent.
making a list of problems facing our state and even our roads, expired license plate tabs ranks nowhere near this top, but it does get a lot of people going. The Star Tribune recently asked the question many of us have wondered at some point recently, why do so many people seem to be driving with out-of-date plates right now? I was wondering that, and then I looked at Kent's car. Kent?
Hey, Jana, we'll get there. We'll get there in a second. In the name of transparency, I will address my own history as a driver and those license plate tabs. But first, it's worth noting that current tabs are really only required for cars that are currently on the road. So tracking expired tabs is actually kind of tricky and fluid, but that's why it makes for some great debate.
It turns out keeping tabs on the number of expired tabs on Minnesota roads isn't easy, even for the Department of Vehicle Services.
They don't have like a real good handle on it, although they don't think it's a major problem. But if you drive down,
because it's mostly gliders out here in this area. These laws are made for gliders, where you can just let people ride around with expired tabs and shit.
This is gliders coping right here.
Yeah, you can't do that when we come around. When we get large enough numbers, you're gonna regret doing that.
No, but here's the wild shit. Like every one of these news stories, they are sneak dissing Sun people. Like everyone, they're just calling you Sun men retarded. They're saying like they're just calling Sun men fucking retards, and then Sun men take it to get free shit. Like where's the dignity?
It's like that voting one. Oh, well, black people don't have access to the internet. All them assholes out in California.
Yeah.
That BBC one, they're like, oh, lack of education in the hood. What they never like they don't got books out there? Like that sounds like their problem, not racism. Like they ban libraries. They low key calling everybody dumb.
Yeah, they say they too stupid and too poor to act right.
Yeah, and they're poor because they're stupid, and they're stupid because they're poor, and they're pathetic, and
that's why they gotta commit crimes.
Yep. I'll be ready to fight those fuckers, but I'm a pacifist glider.
Give me another city, man.
Domestic.
Smash.
Hey, you went to Africa, anything like that lately?
Hell yeah. That'll make us feel better.
Africa.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, I mean,
I don't even know a city in Africa.
You probably got to do Africa on the first hour.
Lagos, Nigeria.
Oh God! Like, I mean, you guys.
It's gonna be a lot of sex crimes.
I wonder, are they protesting for Tyre in Africa?
I hope not. I hope not.
In Africa, they'd be like, "Damn, they didn't shoot him after they beat him like that."
They're like, "So there's no burning tires, or y'all when you gonna burn them
Fear has
or not?"
travelers flying Adon Expressway following rising cases of kidnapping in the strategic highway. Fear has gripped travelers flying the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway following rising cases of kidnapping in the strategic highway linking the southwest to the rest of the country. The Lagos-Ibadan Expressway is becoming notorious for kidnappings between January and October this year. Several abductions have been taking place on the express. On Tuesday, suspected kidnappers dressed in military uniform attacked passengers while traveling on the expressway. Babajide, this is very embarrassing. And if they can take we thought the southwest is, Itato was immune to.
That's kind of like what they've been doing in Los Angeles,
reign
right?
of banditry and abnormality across the country. Right now, for these major exit points, Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, it's a big source of worry if you can't patrol it effectively.
Yeah, we've been warning that these guys, once they continue to face the heat in the northeast and north central and even northwest, that they will head down south, especially to the southwest. For so long, they didn't go to steal anything.
They
Just
talk
to
so
take
slow.
lives,
Yo, this is us at the end of a show right here. After the 40th.
Yeah, man, this is crazy, man. Let's see.
I like how they keep it.
2 days after 237 phone seekers were arrested in 2 nightclubs and arraigned by police in Lagos, the command has also apprehended 45 persons said to be strippers and club goers at another nightclub at the Maracor area of Victoria Island in the early hours of today. Following the operations at the 2 nightclubs in Victoria Island and Surulere on Friday night, the Commissioner of Police in the state had warned that the enforcement operation on COVID-19 protocols would continue. The police also arrested 95 other suspects during a raid on criminal hideouts in the K2 and Ikeja areas of the city. Apart from retaining its position as the epicenter of the pandemic in the country, Lagos State has recorded huge infections of the virus since the second wave began. Despite this grim reality, many residents as well as business outfits, especially nightclubs in the nation's commercial hub, have refused to adhere to the safety protocols.
Smash, 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 smash.
What the fuck is the point of fucking with these people about?
Your HIV smashing them.
Yeah, I want all the AIDS. Give me.
So nasty.
The fuck does it matter? Let's go. You can only get it once.
That shit don't kill you no more.
I know they got the PrEP pill now, dog.
Or you could eat a banana.
That's how they got AIDS.
That's curing it.
I know.
Magic Johnson found the cure for AIDS. You know what
Money.
it is? It's money. Yeah, exactly.
Cash money.
It's also called getting misdiagnosed because you got tested in the early days of the tests. I think he got misdiagnosed, and they just went with it. I think he probably had a bad flu or some shit like that, and then they was just like, all right, and then they probably were like found out he didn't have it. As testing got better, they were like, fuck it, you the man off of that.
Yeah,
shit.
you the face of AIDS.
We just go ahead and we'll make you rich. You know what I'm saying? Everything you touch turns to gold. Yeah.
At the expense of his son.
You said what?
I said at the expense of his son.
What are you talking about?
His son's a flaming homosexual and overweight, chubby.
His son's trans.
He's a chubby little bottom.
What to do with him having AIDS?
No, I'm saying it's like they found.
We just want to shit on him.
No, I'm saying like they found out there was actually just a flu, but he couldn't come out about it. So, we'll make you rich, but then it came at a price. But then I'm just talking shit too. So.
Oh, you saying sacrifice his child?
Yeah,
like Kanye. I'm co-signing that.
Blood sacrifices and shit.
Araka.
I
think it's what rich people do to be interesting.
Yeah, ain't nothing going on in Nigeria like that. They don't have guns over there, man. Like that, except the guys that come and kill like a whole village and shit. But they don't have like they don't have like shootings over arguments and shit like that. They have like, rebels just come to the town and shoot up everybody and then leave.
The legal process of getting a gun in Nigeria is probably easier than Jersey. To be quite honest.
Yeah, but they just don't operate like that. Like they don't have that type of like interpersonal crime in the cities like that. It's just they kill in big numbers. Let's see what's going on. Give me another city, man. Africa's kind of dry right now.
You done anything in Texas?
I think we were in Houston the other night. Man.
All right, man. I can't. I don't know cities, man.
But we had a sister shoot up 3 downtown here. Ock.
Oh, you said Kansas?
Yeah, Wichita.
Oh, buddy.
Wichita, man.
Yeah, 5 shots this weekend.
I'm
we getting the big
out.
time.
Good night, y'all.
Take care.
Okay.
A Wichita man was gunned down at his front door. A neighbor's security camera caught the horrifying incident. Tonight, police are hoping you can help catch that gunman. It's tonight's Crime Stoppers report. And just a warning, this video might be difficult for some people to watch. A quiet night in north central Wichita quickly turns violent. This security camera shows a man using his keys to get in his front door when all of a sudden, gunfire. You see the homeowner fall to the ground. The gunman then runs into view, still firing, then runs away while still shooting. We counted at least 18
Burrito.
gunshots.
Things happen around here.
Ethiopian.
Good thing I work a lot.
Most neighbors here declined an on-camera interview, but say what happened here on the night of January 7th is terrifying.
So the victim did survive. He was treated at the hospital for multiple gunshot wounds. We've had limited cooperation at this point in this investigation, so we're reaching out to the public to see if anyone has information that can help us.
Take a good look at the suspect. Police say he appears to be white or Hispanic with long hair. They hope someone will recognize him.
We are actively working as a police department.
There's no cooperation. Bladders are doing no snitching too. Wow.
Oh no, that's a completely black neighborhood. Damn near.
Police say
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This guy doesn't
be white or Hispanic.
This guy doesn't look white.
It's probably some dope shit or something.
Long hair. They hope someone will recognize him.
We are actively working as a police department to address violent crime in the city, and we're taking an aggressive stance toward it. So we want to make sure that we identify this guy and we hold him accountable for this. We make sure that he's not out there able to commit these kinds of crimes again.
And investigators say they believe this was a targeted shooting, but don't have a motive just yet. It happened in the 2600 block of East Mossman, which is near 9th and Grove. If you have any information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 31.
Any information, man? You asked to call Crime Stoppers.
All right, so I'm gonna jump. I thought I said goodbye already, but it was on pause. So peace, y'all.
Peace out, man.
Have a good one, man.
Peace. Oh, God damn it.
Oh, wow.
Habitat for Humanity celebrated Martin Luther King Jr. Day today by building the frames of 3 affordable homes.
KAKE's Leon Purvis is here now with what they did. Leon.
Deb, David, volunteers worked alongside future home buyers to help them build safe, affordable homes.
Me and my kids have been renting for so long now, so being able to have a home that we can call ours and come home to every day means more than anything can imagine.
Tunisia Johnson was hard at work on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, building her future home along with 2 other future home owners. But she's not only getting help from strangers, it's also a family affair.
I am out here with my mom and other volunteers helping build my new home for me and my children.
What a racist country, man. All these people coming out to build this fucking woman a home.
Oh, it's horrible.
Super exciting moment.
The coming together on MLK Day also means putting some of the frames together herself.
Been out there hammering nails, sweating, feeling my blood, sweat, and tears into it, and it's definitely going to show at the end of the day.
The executive director for Wichita Habitat for Humanity says hammering nails is all part of the requirement to get an affordable home.
So we have 3 partner families that will be getting their homes here very soon after they've finished their sweat equity and their financial literacy. We'll be placing 3 of these homes in the Rock the Block area,
which is this area of Northeast Wichita, 9th to 13th in Grove and Hillside to Grove.
At the end of the day, the goal is going to be to move the framed homes
That's
to
the
their prospective
hood
location.
here.
That's the hood. Well,
that is the hood here, man. Anytime you hear 9th and Grove.
Yeah. Yeah, salute to her.
I put one in the side chat about the Supreme Court turned down the final appeal from the Carr brothers case that happened here years ago.
Oh, got like some stern tea or something, man.
I apologize.
Yeah, stern tea for like 10 minutes, man. Mossy and then fucking what's that movie? Get Out and shit. What the fuck? He doing the Get Out shit. What's going on, man? Okay, so we got St. Louis, man. Whoo, St. Louis.
We begin with breaking news. We're looking into reports of a child shot tonight in St. Louis City. The 5-year-old is said to have been shot in the head and was taken to the hospital. The shooting reported in the 1000 block of LaSalle Park Court. That is just east of Tucker, south of downtown. We are working to get you more.
So 5-year-old shot. Let's see what else happened up here in St. Louis.
Yeah, no protest, no justice for
News right
5-year-old.
now of a deadly shooting inside an East St. Louis church.
This is at the
So a
Pilgrim Green.
5-year-old shot, a church shooting, all in the same night.
News right now of a deadly shooting inside an East St. Louis church.
This is at the Pilgrim Green Church, located in 3700 block of Caseyville Avenue in East St. Louis. Fox News' Mallory Thomas has the story.
Hey guys, so there's some things that we've just gotten some information. So I want to kind of show you a little bit. So that is where the church is. So that's where service takes place. But then over here where this says the recreation and food pantry, that is where there's a cafeteria. That's where police say the shooting happened in there. They say that it must have happened after service because people were in there, they were eating, something happened. Two people took out guns and they started shooting at each other. And one person was hit in the crossfire, an innocent bystander. But other than that, the two shooters shot at each other, hit each other. One of those shooters ended up dying from those gunshot wounds. The other two people have been taken to the hospital, but right now that's as much information as we have. We're trying to talk to more police and trying to get some information. We'll have updates later tonight at 7. In East St. Louis, Mallory Thomas, Fox 2 News.
Wow. What a beautiful culture, man.
Shoot out in the
Pair of
free
young
food
carjackers
fucking.
learned last night that the getaway.
Yeah, like, I mean,
You think somebody starving would be thankful that they're having a meal, you know?
right. Maybe somebody cut in front of somebody in the line, man.
But they didn't have enough money to go to McDonald's, but they had enough money to buy a gun, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. I mean, look, priorities, man. Probably had on a $300 pair of tennis shoes too.
Pair of young carjackers learned last night that the getaway may be the toughest part of the crime.
They are trying to figure out how to start this car. And I'm standing there. I mean, sincerely, the 12, 13, maybe 14 years old. How do you start it? Now, he's going to open the door. How do you start this car?
Pastor Mike Coleman of Carondelet Baptist Church, and he's detailing a harrowing encounter with two young but armed suspects last night. Coleman tells us around 7 o'clock last night, he pulled into the parking lot of his church in the 7300 block of Virginia when he was approached by two young teens demanding his vehicle and his property. Shortly after getting the pastor's car started, the teens, who police say are between 13 and 15 years old, found more trouble on the lot, crashing into several other vehicles before bailing out and taking off on foot. Coleman was not hurt in the incident. Police are still searching for.
I mean, they just ruined a bunch of people's days. Some people will wake up in the morning, their car's gonna be all smashed up. No respect for churches. Like, people used to have respect for churches. Like,
Not anymore.
Yeah, man. Like, boy, the world is changing so fast, man. It just, golly, man.
I mean, they probably actually see churches as a easy place to get a lick.
Exactly. It's changed to where that's the perspective now. It's like, wow, what a strange culture, man.
Crime spree may be solved tonight because a local police department never stopped following the evidence. East Alton police solved a double shooting, which led to a conviction. But Fox Files investigator Chris Hayes tells us it was just the beginning of their investigation.
A suspect's cell phone and his gun not only contained clues that helped police solve a crime here in East Alton, but also two other crimes thousands of miles away. January 22nd, 2022, in this parking lot for the East Alton Ice Arena, a man approaches two women putting in a child's car seat, asks for a light, then shoots them both.
This was a lightning out of a clear blue sky in East Alton, and so we're just thankful no one died.
Madison County State's Attorney Tom Hain and East Alton Police Chief Scott Galicki.
He is uniquely dangerous, in my opinion, because of his random victim choices.
The investigation collected enough evidence to get a guilty plea out of 31-year-old Burton Lamar Newton, who last lived here on Oscar Avenue in Alton. East Alton police did not stop with one case.
Continued working on it, and we gathered some intel from some informants that led to information that he was possibly involved in other shootings.
They followed forensic evidence from Newton's cell phone and ballistic evidence from his gun to connect him to crimes in 2 other states. Newton is now charged with an armed robbery and shooting in Las Vegas, December 13th, 2021, and he's charged with a double shooting in Fresno, California from January 5th.
Like Barnum and Bailey, man. Some man taking this show on the road, man.
Yeah.
This shit is terrifying, man.
2022. It was 17 days later when Newton shot the 2 women in East Alton.
5 victims, 3 states.
We got the same gun that we also recovered from him with his fingerprint. We got the same gun matching to 2 different cities where the shootings happened. So the case came together really good.
This is a testament to what they do when no one is watching. We're just honored to play a role in that as the prosecutors who can put to complete.
I'm on a sun tour with my man, right? These son men go crazy, man. It's St. Louis.
And they complain when people cross the street.
Like, Jesus Christ, man.
A woman walking outside Forest Park on a busy afternoon is attacked and hit in the head with a gun.
St. Louis City police are searching for the suspect, who they say pistol whipped and robbed a woman in the Central West End. Fox News' Kelly Hoskins looks at this attack.
Do we have to ask? I mean, like, do we even have to ask who did this? Look at that neighborhood. This is a nice neighborhood.
I'm up here probably 3 times a week walking, and I can't believe it.
Charlie Walsh says he always takes extra safety precautions while walking in and around Forest Park. He was surprised to find a 62-year-old woman was robbed and pistol whipped just outside Forest
62-year-old woman, context clue.
Park Thursday just before 4 in the afternoon, a path he walks often.
Holy cow, that's just shocking. I feel very safe here, but obviously something's got to be done. I mean, I don't know what you do, though. I don't know. You can't be here all the time, but it's not good.
Police say the attack happened on Lindo between DeBoliver and Union. Investigators say the victim was walking eastbound when the suspect approached her from behind and demanded she hand over a purse. We're told when she turned around, the suspect was pointing a gun at her. However, she refused, and police say the suspect hit her in the head with a pistol, causing her to fall to the ground. The suspect fled the scene with her purse and phone, leaving many walkers on edge.
Someone has gotten robbed. I know that is very hard, and it just makes it hard for citizens here in St. Louis to even walk the area if it's people getting robbed like that.
It's shocking to hear. I walk here every day, and I walk here alone, and it's the middle of the day. So it's very shocking. That's all I can say. I could repeat shocking, but yes, 20 years in the neighborhood, and I always want to think this is safe. That's my backyard.
Authorities say the victim was transported to the hospital and will be okay. Meanwhile, as the suspect remains at large, police are encouraging anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers.
The suspect remains at large. Who? What suspect? What does he look like? Like anything? Jesus Christ.
In the Fox Files, a 23-year-old serial rapist will be going to prison for life. Fox Files investigator Chris Hayes was the only reporter there today for the emotional courtroom drama.
Extra court security was here to keep the peace between the victim's family and the family of now convict Dominic Yoko. A jury convicted Yoko here in September of 15 counts of rape and sodomy of girls ages 14 to 16, and a judge just sentenced him to life.
They kill him.
Predator is now off the streets.
St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell.
We want to bring justice to victims. We want to keep the public safe, and working with our law enforcement partners and obviously our trial staff, we've been able to do that.
Yoko continued to find controversy after his arrest in 2019, like this party Fox 2 found he had.
Oh yeah, that's a glider. That's a glider, right? Yoko Uno. Maybe just a glider with a funny name, man.
Attended while out on bond in May of 2022. A concerned citizen noticed him around children in violation of his release terms at the time and recorded video on her phone.
When I showed up and he was there, I was like, wow, I'm shocked that everybody else is here and this little girl is here.
Prosecutors warned the judge about Yoko's apparent bond violation, also listing in court documents websites they believed he was using inappropriately up until his conviction. In Thursday's sentencing, victims of Yoko testified, including a mother who said, "I was not raped by Dominic, but I am his victim." She said Yoko raped her 13-year-old daughter, who later died by suicide after failing to overcome her PTSD.
Wow.
Another victim testified, "Dominic took advantage of me while I was suicidal." She said she still suffers from panic attacks 5 years after being raped.
I salute those individuals who were victimized for being able to see this.
The guys, hey, they got him off the street. He got a life sentence. Hey.
Through so that we could bring justice.
Yoko himself took the
16
stand,
life
calling
sentences.
himself the victim and saying his
16 life
relationships were both consensual and normal. The judge shook her head, sentenced him to life, in which he will not be eligible for parole until he's more than 100 years old. For the
100 years old. Damn. God damn.
Yeah, and he was
A woman
17 and 18 when the attacks occurred, and the girls were 16 or younger.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, one girl's 13.
Yeah, 16 counts involving 8 girls.
Wow. St. Louis is getting pretty rough, man.
Violent teenage criminals are attacking businesses, cars, and people in a recent crime wave in St. Louis City and County. New tonight, 2 teens are facing burglary charges. Fox 2's Mallory Thomas spoke with city leaders about efforts to get this crime spree under control.
This map shows the string of burglaries that ended with 2 teens in custody. St. Louis County Police say back in September, 5 handguns were stolen from Denny Dennis Sporting Goods. Then in December, police say the teens used a stolen car to carry out a string of burglaries at businesses in North County. This week, officers arrested the teens and found the 5 guns from Denny Dennis Sporting Goods. More teens are ending up in police custody in the city recently as well. And the uptick in teen criminals means local leaders are looking for ways to keep teens out of the juvenile court system.
The system has. Hold on. An uptick in juvenile crime as investigators trying to keep teens out of the court system? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Remember, Ak, none of this is their fault. This isn't because of their actions. It's because of their conditions and their circumstances. They were just hungry, Ak.
Guns from Denny Dennis Sporting Goods. More teens are ending up in police custody in the city recently as well. And the uptick in teen criminals means local leaders are looking for ways to keep teens out of the juvenile court system.
The system has not been calibrated for this. This is a new phenomenon.
Great point. Great point. The system is not calibrated for this. Great point, LL Cool J.
But this isn't a new phenomenon either.
No, it's not. But the system being somebody admitting that, like, yo, with these gliders, fucking, when they wrote the Magna Carta or whatever the fuck, and then the Constitution, they had no clue that they would be governing people that give 2 shits about their freedom. Or
Oh, even they admitted that it was written for a moral society.
Yeah. These laws are not meant to govern sons, man. And he's admitting it without, I'm sure he doesn't want to be admitting it. I'm sure he doesn't even know he's admitting it. I'm sure he doesn't even know what he's saying. But he accidentally said it.
Well, and he doesn't want them to be punished by the law.
Has not been calibrated for this. This is a new phenomenon. It's not going anywhere. So we've got to begin to put programs and we've got to begin to put measures in place once again at the neighborhood level.
The Missouri State Highway Patrol shows St. Louis County Police arrested more than 1,100 juvenile offenders. Those charges range from curfew violations to opioid charges and even murder charges. James Clark with the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis believes the best way to prevent more teens from committing crimes is for the community to face it together.
We've got to look at how we can begin to strengthen and make resources accessible to families that are dealing with unruly children, that are dealing with children that need nourishment, that need enrichment, and we have to be able to bring those resources straight into the neighborhoods.
Jesus Christ, he started good.
Juveniles
Well, a
arrested
belt.
this week are both facing charges of burglary and stealing and have been sent to family court. These arrests are coming days after the teens in unrelated situation were arrested outside City Foundry in Midtown. They were released back to their parents. Tonight, we asked the St. Louis County courts if the teens were still in custody. We were told, quote, the 21st Circuit Court is unable to comment on possible and or pending litigation in the juvenile court and or the juvenile detention center. In St. Louis County, Mallory Thomas, Fox 2 News.
That means they're home playing Xbox.
Definitely, man. What else would they be doing? They're fucking living the life, man. These kids are fucking winning, man. This is the life.
They're playing real life GTA.
You fucking get caught for some shit and you just go home that night and you brag about it at school the next day. And the girls think, oh shit, you're a badass. And the other boys are like, yeah, man, you're my nigga. And the cycle repeats itself, man. Let's check in on Louisville right quick, man. What's going on in the Ville, man? Salute to all you guys, man. Everybody got 400, 2 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, man. Salute to y'all, man. Let's see.
Then, as Memphis prepares to lay Tyree Nichols to rest this week, there are growing calls for police reform around the nation. This morning, a sermon was delivered in his honor at the Memphis church where his funeral will be Wednesday. It was titled, "What Did I Do?" That's one question the 29-year-old could be heard asking as he pleaded with police during that violent traffic stop that ultimately led to his death 3 days later. Also on this day, the Congressional Black Caucus said it wants to meet with President Biden this week to push for negotiations for reforms to the justice system.
Is this the Congressional Black Caucus right here?
And closer to home, dozens took to the streets of Louisville this afternoon. Groups holding signs and calling out Nichols' name. Met at Baxter and Broadway. They marched for
These
several
people are
blocks.
going to go to hell for this. God, somewhere in the Bible, God doesn't like, what is this, vanity? What is this, false gods or false idols? But it's something even
False
more,
idols for sure.
But it's something even more sinister, though. It's like, think about this, man. It's got to be something in the Bible where if you really in your heart don't give a fuck about a person who died, but you go out in public with a bullhorn and signs and proclaim how much you care about that person. There's got to be something in the Bible to strike you down for doing that shit. That's sick.
It's well, feet quick to run to evil. That's one of the things that that's said in Proverbs.
Okay.
So they're quick to do evil things without question. They don't question what's going on. They don't question whether they look for the facts. They just quick to just go ahead and do this kind of stuff. They act on the impulse.
Yeah, these people are wicked. These are wicked, evil people, man. You don't give two shits about this guy. Not a flying fuck. Lying. How about lying? That's the sin. This is lying. deceitfulness mixed with taking advantage of someone's death. This guy's death, you're fucking profiting off of his death. You're not profiting monetarily, but you're profiting in social capital off of this guy's death.
Well, they're
Many of those
profiting.
taking part
Their
walked the very same.
Yeah, but
organizations are profiting monetarily too. They'll get an up in donations for this shit.
Streets in the wake of Breonna Taylor's death in 2020, demanding justice for the young woman killed during a botched LMPD raid.
Even if we did do things wrong, that does not mean that police get to execute us whenever they please. So we will continue to be in these streets because Black lives always matter.
And not long after, a group of pastors, community leaders, and activists met at Jefferson Square Park to
What the fuck is wrong with
If
this?
that's your community leaders, your community is in trouble.
What's wrong with this thing? I can't even call her a person. She's a thing. She's like, what is she like? Hawaiian or fucking Filipino or some shit? What is she like? What is this thing?
She looks like some kind of South Asian island.
Yeah, yeah, but she
Round
doesn't
eye.
have any accent, so she was born here. And her parents were probably born. She has no accent. What is this? What is this? I'm perplexed. I'm like a scientist. I'm trying to figure out what is this thing here.
Even if we did do things wrong, that does not mean that police get to execute us whenever they please. So we will continue to be in these streets because Black lives always matter.
And not long after, a group of pastors, community leaders, and activists met at Jefferson Square Park to pray for the family of Tyre Nichols. The group also called for peace in the metro and in cities all around the country after what happened in Memphis.
We're one human race. One human race. This can happen to any one of us. And it has. It has. And it has to stop.
People who have experienced and been impacted by violence also had the opportunity to share their stories at today's rally.
These are some sick puppies, man. These are some sick motherfuckers, man.
Well, what's crazy is the amount of people that believe in them and that believe that they're totally honest and this has nothing to do with a money grab or politics.
Right. Even after the whole BLM debacle.
Well, it's easier. It's easier to go along with the deception because if you actually confronted it for what it truly is, that means you have to act. You have to face the truth and act. And that's far. And that also takes admitting that you were wrong. And admitting that you got duped. And they don't want to do that. That takes too much character.
New details tonight about the city's latest homicide victim. Commonwealth Theater Center posted on its website, Kenny Mayer was killed Thursday afternoon on Cooper Street. That's in the Irish Hill neighborhood, right outside their facility. According to his obituary, Mayer was 51 and worked maintenance. The statement called him a beloved member of the administrative staff and says he lost his life due to a senseless act of gun violence near the building. They call the loss a tragedy. So far, no arrests have been made.
Damn,
There's no descriptions anymore
Well,
of who to look out for, you know.
It's bizarre, man.
I think they don't want a lot of these caught, honestly.
People working across the street from where man was shot to death in the Irish Hill neighborhood say they're shocked. Gladys Batista explains the deadly violence isn't something they'd expect in that neighborhood.
A busy night at Irish Hill's Ciao Ristorante cut short by the sound of gunfire Thursday afternoon.
Everybody heard it. Some people dropped to the floor. Some people went to hide in the bathroom. It was very, very loud and clear.
Channing Klein has worked at Ciao Ristorante for 5 years. She says what happened still didn't register, even after seeing a man laying on the ground right across the street.
It's not anything I would have ever expected to happen like that. No, gunshot would have never crossed my mind. When you see somebody on the ground like that, my mind doesn't go, oh, somebody's been shot.
LMPD says officers responded to a report of a shooting on Cooper Street just before 4 p.m. And when they got there, they found a man who had been shot. Even though Klein said people rushed to help the man.
The first person made it across the block over here to help the man. So it's going to be hard for him today.
Police say he died at the scene. Investigators shut down the block for hours as they combed for evidence.
You know, everybody tried to stay out of the way, but, you know, yeah, we closed for dinner because, you know, everyone was a little traumatized from witnessing the event. And then, you know, you want to stay out of the way.
You
and
got 5
let the
o'clock
police
shadow.
officers do their job.
Yeah.
But on Friday, there are reminders of what
Man,
happened.
that's tough. Once they shave that stuff, see, she should have got that shit plucked. And I think she shaved it. And once you're a woman and you shave it, you're fucked for life.
Let the police officers do their job.
But on Friday, there are reminders of what happened. Outside, a headlight busted out.
There's definitely a hole inside of the building.
And inside,
Yeah, everybody's going to be a little bit on edge today for sure. Kitchen makes a lot of loud noises. Somebody drops an aluminum pan on the floor. It's going to be a little testy today. So we'll see. You know, it's just hope we can all.
She seems like a nice woman, man. I'm not going to make fun. She seems like a nice woman, man.
Still no description. No.
Nothing. She saw it and she didn't even give us a description.
Louisville mom is looking for answers tonight, 2 months after her son
literally
was
saw
gun-
this shit.
Oh, here comes the life turned around before the incident.
Louisville mom is looking for answers tonight, 2 months after her son was gunned down in the Taylor Berry neighborhood. WLKY's Randall Cam talked with the grieving mother just a short time ago. Randall?
Well, Vicki, this was a tough interview, and it's going to be a hard one to watch. A mom, distraught and looking for someone to explain why her son was shot and killed. It happened the day after Thanksgiving in the 3100 block of Taylor Boulevard. 52-year-old Corey Parker of Louisville shot multiple times and pronounced dead at the scene.
They beat him like a dog. And then he danced like a dog. He didn't deserve that. I know he's my son and he wasn't perfect. But
Okay, so he wasn't perfect. So some person point of view that you weren't when some person say he wasn't perfect, they mean he was close to being a fucking like he was. What's the opposite of perfect? It's the opposite of perfect. Whatever the opposite of perfect was, that he was that.
Broken.
Whenever some person says this, he wasn't perfect.
Well, that and I mean, yeah, man, I'm glad you made that move at 50 to turn your fucking life around.
Right.
deserve that. I know he's my son and he wasn't perfect. But I don't think nobody's child deserves it.
Barbara Petty says her son battled drug problems life around by enrolling in culinary school.
His dream,
Turn his life around by enrolling in culinary school.
his dream was to open his own restaurant.
But that dream died last November. Who shot
He was gonna open up his own restaurant. Okay.
died last November. Who shot and killed Corey Parker? That's the answer Barbara Perry wants, but can't get. She tells us she's frustrated with the police investigation.
It just seemed like that they're just brushing everything under the rug. And I want the rug put back. And I want the dust swept out. Because I feel like we're losing too many of our children out here.
We've reached out to Louisville police.
He's 50 though, but whatever.
For clarification as to whether an active investigation is continuing or if the case is closed. When we find out, we'll bring that information to you. Corey Parker leaves behind 5 children and 6 grandchildren.
He lived a full life. He was a fucking degenerate, probably a degenerate criminal. A Floyd. This probably was a Floyd. He lived, what, 5 years longer than Floyd? He looked like he was a George Floyd. You know, that type of mold cut out of the George Floyd cloth. And he lived to be 50 and he got a bunch of grandkids and kids.
And the idea that there's some conspiracy of the police department to hide something.
He got one, man. That guy won. Got fucking one, man. Got one. Salute to that guy, man. He had a great life, man. Shit, if
People working across the
that guy in like he won, man. He lived in America. He had a great life. 50 years. Did all the drugs he wanted to do. Committed all the crimes he wanted. Had all the sex he wanted. Like at some
Half-load
point,
of kids, grandkids.
yeah, at some point, man, like we gotta appreciate. And I mean that goes for me too. I gotta appreciate what I got too. You all have to appreciate what we got.
Look how racist and horrible of a country we have when a complete degenerate can live a life like that.
Right. I mean, like, come on, man.
Kentucky State Police are revealing new details about the relationship between a Florida man and a woman whose body was found after a high-speed chase. David Reed was arrested last week after a multi-county chase on I-75.
Here's another one. This guy's got a great life. Look who this guy's got a great life.
David Reed was arrested last week after a multi-county chase on I-75 that ended in Laurel County. The body of 53-year-old Rachel Carter was found in a plastic bin in the back of his SUV. During a court hearing, investigators said the two had been dating and that Reed...
Yo, this guy's dating this woman, man. Yo, there's nothing to complain about. Now he killed her, and all he gets to do is fucking sit around and play dominoes and fucking watch old movies on fucking AMC for the next fucking 20, 30 years till he dies of like old age in fucking prison.
Don't forget about the prison cell cuisine he will eat.
Yeah, exactly. He'll get 3 squares and he'll get all the little hookups and shit. The little fucking cuisines they make out of the fucking hot Doritos and shit and fucking honey buns and shit. But aside from that, he's gonna get 3 square meals a day. He'll get heat, protect, and this woman's dead. And trust me, he outkicked this coverage with this one, man. This guy outkicked this coverage. Yo, these guys have great lives, man. That fucking guy was dating this woman.
that ended in Laurel County. The body of 53-year-old Rachel Carter was found in a plastic bin in the back of his SUV. During a court hearing, investigators said the two had been dating and that Reed killed her during an argument at a motel near the interstate.
He advised that it stemmed from an argument between the two due to Rachel finding out that he was possibly seeing another female.
Reed is charged.
He was cheating.
He had her and a side piece.
That guy was cheating on this woman. This guy was cheating on his woman. And then when she confronted him about it, he killed her.
Oh, this could only happen in the most racist country in the world.
And I bet you this guy's rap sheet is longer than the previous guys. Listen, man, I want to make sure that I fucking appreciate my life, man.
Gun violence has claimed 6 lives in Louisville just days into the new year. One of those victims was a founding member of the musical group Lincoln Bridge. WLKY's Shaquille Lord is here to share where he is being or how he's being remembered tonight. Shaq?
Yeah, Vicky, 43-year-old Jeremiah Buckner was known as Echo. He was 1/4 of the original Lincoln Bridge music group. They're out of West Louisville. Now, he worked hard. He loved West Louisville and stood against gun violence. That's why his friends tell me his death is still hard to process. Somewhere over the rainbow. All 4 members of Lincoln Bridge rose to...
What do you think, man? How you like it, man? What we thinking? What we thinking about this? What we doing with that? Huh? Thumbs up or thumbs down on that, man?
What was the movie Wesley Snipes was in about they took over the whole block in New York?
New Jack City.
Yeah. This reminds me of is that scene out in front of the Corridor Apartments in New Jack City.
What we doing, man? Ock Nation, man. I need y'all to. You think I should collab with them, man? Should I collab with these guys, man?
The process.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
All 4 members of Lincoln Bridge rose to fame together.
We cried together. We triumphed together. We achieved some things that were impossible at our age together.
Over the rainbow.
Montre Davis, Rome Kimbrough, Sean China Lacey, and Jeremiah Buckner, known as Echo, formed the original Lincoln Bridge. Echo is described as the one who held the band together.
The work ethic and the drive. And so if you didn't work on that, he would question your seriousness. So he was a very hard worker.
But now there's a new reality, one without the 43-year-old. Police say he was shot and killed Tuesday afternoon on Village West Drive in the Russell neighborhood.
He stood for peace, and he stood against gun violence. To have him die so tragically like this, like I said, is bizarre and insane.
The loss comes as a shock to everyone who knew him.
He didn't drink, smoke, party. He wasn't with the wrong people. He didn't associate, didn't believe in that. This is senseless. It doesn't make sense.
Even after Echo left the group to pursue other opportunities, the other members say he always kept in touch with his brothers and rooted for them from a distance.
It's a shame, it took this for me to say that boy was the heart and soul of Lincoln Bridge.
And as they grasp with this new reality, China says Echo's impact will forever be felt.
We're going to keep going. We want everyone to know that his legacy will live on.
Certainly heartbreaking. Now, no arrests have been made in this case. If you have any information that can help investigators, call the anonymous tip line. That number is 574-LMPD.
On that note, guys, man, peace out, man. See you guys. I may take tomorrow off. I'm traveling. I might do a show. I don't know, but most likely I'm taking tomorrow off. Peace out, man.
Peace out.
Y'all have a good night.